that was messed up. Sorry
I
about
was
that,
just to
folks.
say.
Yeah, what was that?
I just everything clicked all at once. It was bad. It was not
I was
good.
like, all right. Whatever that was.
I
Greetings
literally
and-
looked up like who else is with us and what are they doing?
Right. No, it's just it was just me misclicking. Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the 43rd episode of Screaming Into the Void, where we talk about whatever the hell we feel like. And today we've got some stuff to talk about. My name is Samuel the Infamous. Welcome. With me is the Corpus Marketing Director, the Head Jobby Gamer.
Wow, hi. Wearing my Nintendo New York hoodie, showing it off. Was in at Nintendo New York. Not my
Nice.
usual Darfo blue.
Nice. And we have Nomi of Nomi Without You.
Hi.
Hi.
That's it. Hi.
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 Hi, Ryan.
What's up? How's everybody doing? Those darn
Oh, right,
girls,
Barrow. I gotta go check out Barrow.
those darn women think they can get away with just minimal words because they're pretty.
Hey, I did give minimum words. I showed off my Nintendo hoodie.
My
That's
camera
fair.
is not even on.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I've been to Nintendo New York.
Late
It's
night?
awesome.
No.
Yes, you
I bet-
did.
Early night. If anything, after our stream last night, I took off my makeup and went straight to bed.
Did you really?
Yeah. I was just like, well, good night, everybody.
No, it's cool. I slept late myself.
Mhm.
As I'm sure you all noticed by my not having this stream up more than an hour before we started.
I know, right? So we're back backstage, and I'm like, get in there at like 6 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, nobody's in here. And then of course, all of a sudden he pops in, and we start talking about certain stuff, and he's like, all right, 15 seconds, and I'm like, yeah.
God damn it. We were just
Well,
getting excited.
It is what it is. I was late, but part of the reason for that was I was dealing with some rental stuff, and it kind of got away from me. So, but here we are, more or less on time, and we've got some kind of heavy subjects to talk about today. Oh, and by the way, I did speak to Maester Chow. He will not be joining us today because he is on call this weekend, and is running on next to no sleep.
All right.
So
I don't blame him.
but so we do have some heavier topics today. So I thought I would start with a fun video. But before we get to that, let's say hello to the chat. I see Lawrence Knight doing his thing as usual.
Yeah, I had the chance to beat him, but I was like, I don't care that much.
Yeah, and Lawrence might not be with us today either. He's on baby watch still. They're still waiting. That baby is just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good where I am.
Yeah, I don't blame the baby.
And all that. So he's there. It's any minute kind of thing. So he may or may not join us today, but he's got things going on. Midnight Horse stopped by to say hello. Glad to see you. Hope you can make it back. I see Ozzy and Boa, and we've got Carrie in the chat with us. Just saw him and Suka over in Cat's chat a little bit ago. And Yue, good to see you. Logical Spock is with us today. We've got Burnaby Sanchez. Good to see you, buddy. And I think that's caught us up on chat for right now. So I got this thing. You remember Amanda from Daywalker Comedy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Voice actors.
There's a chance she's going to be on end of the month, beginning of next month. So we'll have to make sure Larry's there. He'll be upset.
Yeah. So she posted this video about a year ago, but I think it's relevant to all things happening today, and it's hysterical. So I asked her if I could show the whole thing on this weekend's show, and she's like, "Yeah, go for it." So all right, we're gonna enjoy a funny video.
That's cool.
Yeah, no, she's very cool, and I highly recommend her channel. The link is in the description.
I do too. She's a lot of fun.
Go check it out. She is hilarious and a bit like South Park in that she doesn't play favorites with who she makes fun of.
No, that's why she's a little bit. She got ostracized in the voice acting community.
Right. So we don't have to EFAP this. We can play it all the way through. So let's get into it. It's called The Recipe for a Crappy Hollywood Reboot.
I don't think I've seen this one.
Oh, hold on a second, because I'm a dumbass. There we go. All right.
Hey Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be re-envisioning an oldie but a goodie, a traditional carrot cake. In order to do a proper reboot of an old fan favorite, you're going to need a few things. Step 1. Spend way too much making it. Our budget will be about 200 million, but if you're strapped for cash, 100 million can work too. Now you might think a budget like that would make it hard to turn a profit, but everyone knows spending an exorbitant amount up front on a reboot is going to pay off 100% of the time. And it's pretty much the strategy of every sound film investor or baker. Step 2, grease your pan and preheat your oven to 375. Keep the same title of the beloved dessert, but take everything that people liked about the original recipe that worked the first time around, and as they say, if it ain't broke, it's probably still super problematic. For example, sugar, bad. Eggs, bad. Flour, the worst. Let's substitute those overused ingredients with options that are a little less white. Stuff like licorice, black pepper, whole grains. And not just whole grain flour. I mean like a literal metric nut ton of whole grains. I find that brown flour is too subtle and goes down too easily. When you're spending millions on your product, you want the audience to know that you put that ingredient in there. Shove it down their throat if you have to. And if it gets too hard to swallow, I find this is always a really effective way to help them wash it down. And while traditionally carrot cake has been made with, well, carrots, I find there are so many other vegetables that have been really underrepresented in the dessert world. So today, we're going to be taking the carrot in carrot cake and finally giving eggplant the spotlight it deserves. I know what you're probably thinking. Yeah, eggplant is underused, but is carrot cake really the best way to show off the unique flavors of eggplant? Why even bother still calling it carrot cake then? Why commandeer and change a popular existing recipe just to pander to the eggplant crowd? Or, my personal favorite, instead of giving them your sloppy seconds, why not create something tasty, original, and character-driven as a vehicle for underrepresented veggies instead of making these lazy, superficial substitutions? Because fuck you, that's why. Sprinkle. When you're hyping up your new carrot cake before it hits the market, be sure to take a massive shit on anyone who's a fan of traditional carrot cake and may not necessarily be super excited about your new carrotless spin on it. Creating controversial buzz by alienating and demonizing pre-existing fan bases is always a great way to get people to want to try your product. And as a plus, if you added in all those brave and stunning ingredient variations I suggested earlier, you're basically bulletproof to criticism. So if people don't like it or it doesn't sell well, it's not because it's not their taste or maybe it's just not good. It's because they're hateful. It's because they're hateful. Bon appetit.
Oh God, she did not eat that.
Mmm.
Oh my God.
Oh. Mm. Certified fresh.
That is awesome.
That was
That is
fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to ask her if she really baked and ate that because
she was asked that, and yes, she did.
oh my God, that's wild.
That brave woman. Oh,
Yeah, no,
my
anything
gosh.
for comedy, right?
Literally going the distance.
And that is
Wow.
that is Daywalker Comedy here on YouTube. You can find her channel link in the description, as well as the direct link to that specific video also in the description. Go check her out, give her some love. She is fantastic.
Yes, she's been around the block a few times too when it comes to voice acting in the Hollywood. She's got a pretty solid resume. Many of you anime fans, I guarantee, know her. So
She has a pretty interesting story too. I'd recommend definitely going to watch the Legion Talk episode that featured her about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, it was about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry is bummed out. He's like, "You had her on." I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You guys didn't tell me." It's like, well, I didn't know, dude. And then he got mad at Samuel, which is funny. My camera keeps freezing. I might have to back out of it. If it does it again, I might have to back out and jump back in. We'll see.
I haven't noticed anything on this end.
I
but-
haven't
Yeah,
noticed anything
I haven't
either.
seen anything.
You haven't? Okay, I see it on the YouTube in front of me, so maybe there's just a weird lag.
Yeah, there's been some weird stuff going on with
Okay.
YouTube
Yeah,
lately. and
If
people-
you guys don't see it, then it's probably just
It's you, not me.
No,
Yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, YouTube has been acting wonky. People have been telling me that they don't see me live. When I was live early, they were saying they didn't see that. They didn't. It's not even that. Thug McCoy was saying it wasn't that he didn't get an alert. It was that he couldn't even see me live.
Interesting. I got I saw that you were live, so that was good. I don't think I got a notification though.
You know, on the mobile YouTube app at the top, at the top of your subscription feeds, it'll have like little, channels, the channels that you're subscribed to and all that, and you can side scroll through all those. It was telling me that you were live there, but the actual stream was not in my sub feed.
Yep.
It was the weirdest thing. So I don't know. They're doing some new weird stuff, and actually got an email from Boa a couple of days ago. I haven't had a chance to fully look into this yet, but he says, and again, I haven't checked this out myself to the extent that I need to, that there is a new TOS update coming that will prevent people from even mentioning other non-Google approved sites. So like, you'd be pretty much restricted to Facebook, YouTube, anything that Google likes, but they hate Elon Musk, so Twitter's probably out. They definitely are not fans of Rumble or BitChute or Minds or Locals or any of that other stuff. So you can't talk about them. You can't post links in the chat or in descriptions or in comments, and they will take you down and give you a strike for that. At least that's the rumor that's upcoming.
Are you kidding? These people have become the police.
Well, they have to do something to they're bleeding channels. So
well, it's their own fault. I mean, they booted Steven Crowder again. I'm not a fan of Steven Crowder, but what they did to Crowder was wrong.
Good. I just say good luck with that shit, because people aren't going to abide by it, and they're going to be striking people left and right. And then what are they going to do? Because they're going to be content creators, larger content creators. Like I'm not playing this game, dude.
I think this is going to go over as well as when Elon Musk tried to stop Linktree from being a thing on Twitter a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Because obviously, from a certain perspective, I kind of get that if you want people to stay on your website, you don't really want them, linking people to other competing websites. However, that's not how the internet works.
No.
No.
So
I remember seeing that update, and I was so irritated about it. I was going to tweet something at Team YouTube, and I decided to delete it because it was so over the top that I figured that I'd probably get a bad response, since all my information is linked treated in all my channels. Team YouTube has a YouTube in general has a way of black flagging people who go against the grain if you don't do it in a large group.
I've had that happen to me multiple times.
If you push back in excess with a large group of people, they'll get the message. But if you do it on an individual basis, they'll basically make you the black sheep. And I was like, I'm still so small. I don't think I need to nuke my YouTube career yet.
Right. And that's kind of where I'm at right now, is because we're actually picking up a little bit of steam on this channel. Not a ton, but we're making some making those gains, as they say.
Well, and you're only really live streaming too, which YouTube likes YouTube usually doesn't push you unless you do a combination of videos and streams. So you're not doing too shabby. I'll be honest, man. You're doing pretty good.
Yeah. So
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, we're good. We are picking up some steam on this channel. People are starting to like it, starting to notice it. Hell, I got a couple of like retweets from people I never expected to this week. That was weird.
I know, fucker.
So I didn't expect that. It just kind of happened.
Dick.
And it's just, so like the name is getting noticed, which is good. And the problem with that is we're still small enough that if I were to just jump over to, say, another platform, it would be basically starting over at this point. And I think it's too early for me to do that.
It's there's look, see, the devil is in the details. There's always ways to find around to get around the policing, and that's what these morons don't understand. It's like, okay, well, maybe you might make it hard to where I can't put it in the chat or put it in the description, but it's like, what what's to stop me from putting a slow rolling video at the end with all the contact information for other platforms? Are you gonna do you have moderators for that? Because that's not something that a bot can recognize. It's not like a copyright claim. Like if I were to play the whole entire Mario movie on my channel right now, like, no, that's going to get taken down immediately, and Universal is going to most likely issue me a strike, like an actual strike, not just a copyright claim, an actual strike. So no, it's like, how do you moderate that? There will be ways around it. And then of course, when they see people are getting around it in a couple of months, they'll go, well, what are you gonna do? And it's like, well, maybe you shouldn't have did in the first place, shitheads. You got the largest platform. Are you really that fucking greedy?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I'm about to say the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
The answer is
So,
yes.
I mean, one of the things that I'll admit worries me is given I'm blatantly, obviously breaking narratives. Like, it's not like they expect me to fall in line. So sometimes I worry that I will piss people off more than, like, the straight white dude. Yeah, they expect the straight white dude to disagree with them. So at times, it's like I'm a little leery that they expect me to, fall in line, and I don't, and I never will. I'm anti-woke. I hate the SJW nonsense. I'm not going to fall in line. So it's like sometimes I'm kind of like, should be careful.
Yeah. Well, and you of the four of us up here right now, you have I think the largest channel,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
you know, you're probably going to catch more attention than we are.
Mm-hmm. I've even noticed too that on my main channel, which is monetized, I get copyright claims faster than I would if I played something on just my secondary channel, Legion Talk, which is not monetized. So when it comes to making money, they'll nab you like that. They don't even let you sneeze without them catching you.
Hey, well, YouTube, my live streams are always unmonetized, so you ain't getting anything out of me for that one.
I don't understand how you play video games. Like, what the hell? Are you talking about claims, or they just you automatically get the
No, I keep them unmonetized because
okay.
Because first off, I've gotten claims. I've gotten numerous claims on stuff where I'm like, what the hell is that coming from? But on top of that, it's like if I say something like women are women, I'm afraid that I figure if it's unmonetized, it'll get less attention than if it were monetized.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead, Fran.
I was just gonna say that my main channel, I pretty much get a copyright claim for everything. Everything that I do to put Google ad revenue on, I always have to. It always goes into escrow because like even when I play a video game, like if there's a cover song, like that's owned by a certain corporation, they'll claim it because it's in the video game.
I got claimed on Bungie's song by Paul McCartney. I mean, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And it was in a broken jukebox in a lost sector. And it was a song made for Destiny.
Yep.
It's Bungie's song.
It's because somebody owns it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got claimed by another channel that does covers of video game music for the original track in game. It wasn't even his cover. So... And it's like, I don't know exactly how to fight that because like, I'm not, I don't own that music myself. The guy who does lives in freaking Japan. So it is what it is. But Kat,
was that Nomi yawning?
Probably.
Are you dying? Are you dying over there?
No. I didn't think you guys could hear me yawn.
What the hell have you done since we saw you last night? Why? Like you sound like you got run over by a bus.
Carrie over here trying to get us in trouble.
No, I didn't get hit by a bus.
Are you drunk?
No, far from. I am not drinking for a while.
There's a story there.
No, just because that's just I go through phases where I'm like, I'm okay with not drinking alcohol for a while. And I'm in that phase right now. The last time I drank was like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3.
Did you have a what the fuck did I do last night?
No, I literally just stayed home. I washed my face, got into PJs, and went straight to bed.
No, I'm not talking about last night. I meant 2 to 3 weeks ago. Did you have a what the fuck did I do last night moment?
Oh, no.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not, because I have no interest in any guy in the area that I live
no,
in.
I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about
Wow.
like,
Wow.
I
She goes
t-
straight to X-rated.
you could still have a what the fuck did you do last night because you're like falling down drunk and you lost your cell phone or your wallet.
Yeah.
and
I
you're-
mean, like you never woke up somewhere that you didn't recognize with half your hair missing and a weird taste in your mouth.
No, what?
No,
No, I've never
no.
done that in my life.
Why would
I
you?
was a good kid. I'm a good kid. I'm a
Well,
yeah.
good, boring, what have you.
That's why
I'll
I
admit
was
it.
yawning. I'm such a boring person that I yawn periodically.
I'm more boring than you. My life is literally me, work, home, work, home, work, home, work, home. I mean, this is the first movie I've seen in like a decade.
Okay.
Hey, okay. What is everybody kind of reacting to that everybody's like, oh my god, Nomi, ew, what? Like, what did I say where
One of those is Larry. He tends to blow shit out of proportion. So
I don't know. I was just gonna say that my life is so boring that I have to have dreams where I actually get arrested for a DUI. That was last night.
Oh wow.
Hey, even my dreams are boring. I dreamt about work and getting yelled at because I confused a Chromebook with a Windows 11 laptop.
Oh,
And my boss is like yelling at me. He's like, "Don't you know the difference between a Chromebook?" And I'm like, "Yes, I do."
Oh, I've had dreams about work.
I'm not
That's
even gonna
super
tell you
normal.
guys my dreams. My dreams are way worse than that.
That's super normal. I've had dreams about work where I was running late and you wake up in a panic. You're like, oh, and you're like, oh God, okay, it's only like 4 a.m. Fuck, thank you.
I got one more hour.
Yeah. It's yeah, those are the worst. I used to hate having dreams about work. I'm like, you know what? That means I'm working way too fucking much. That's back when I was doing overtime like religiously.
You know, when I was in my 20s, I worked for this gas station, and when you're behind the counter, you've got this machine where you can authorize, or deauthorize pumps, right? And there was this really annoying ding sound that would happen every time somebody wanted you to authorize a pump. And it got to a point where I was dreaming about that sound, not the job, just the sound. Like I'd have 2 days off, and during that time, all I would hear in my dreams is that ding. And it was awful. I actually think I quit that job over that. I don't know. It was a long time ago, but I couldn't do it anymore.
That's crazy. Oh,
yeah. So we got some stuff to talk about today. Some things I ran across, on Twitter and in the news and what have you. Starting with the hostage situation involving Riley Gaines.
God, these people are nuts. I'm tired of this nonsense. I am absolutely fed up, tired with these lunatic children who think.
Did you see Gina Carano's response to that?
No.
Chance?
I don't think so. No,
I have it bookmarked.
I did see a video. I haven't watched it yet, but I got a thing when I opened YouTube from the Quartering, and he's saying that Transmov gets sued by Riley Gaines after woke cops refuse, and that's the title. It's not even the full title because it's just on my homepage, so I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, she needs to sue them and make an example that we have had enough of this nonsense.
I had some pretty choice words about the situation and the danger that it presented, but I chose not to say anything because it probably would get misconstrued on Twitter. If you're in that situation, you're surrounded like that, you very much are authorized to do what you need to do to protect your life and others.
The problem is, I mean, come on, they're trying to justify the person from Nashville. The problem is the moment she does anything, oh my God, she attacked a trans person. The poor trans person. They're going to turn it, no matter what she does, no matter how much they attack her, if she tries to do anything, they're going to immediately blame her. Like the dude, what's his name? Billboard Chris, who got, you can see it on camera. The guy did absolutely nothing. And the trans person whacked him. And they're like, nah, it was mutual.
He got assaulted more than once, yeah.
So we're gonna go over Ms. Carano's tweet here because I think that she was extraordinarily eloquent here. And this is in response to the obviously she retweeted Independent Women's Forum, which is the I believe the nonprofit that Riley Gaines is actually doing her speaking to her on behalf of, as well as herself. So she says, this is horrifying. It is not transphobic to say that biological men should not be competing against biological women in sports. Many trans people understand and agree with this. This is so disgustingly abusive and harmful and it is encouraging acts of violence against women. These protesters cannot debate with this logic or words, so they resort to bullying and violence. Cowards. Ask yourself why the majority is trans women moving over into women's sports and why we don't see many trans men successfully transferring and competing against men. Why doesn't this go both ways? Why are only women's sports negatively affected? Mental health, a way of life, living a dream are all directly related to women competing in sports and so much more. The knowledge that comes with training, the excitement of getting a college scholarship to go play for a team or to go to the Olympics and compete on a fair stage, the ability to make money and support themselves, sponsorships. Entire futures are built on women competing in sports. Even if someone doesn't end up becoming a professional, just playing for a team in high school can be life-changing. Do not take that away from women. Do not rob young girls and women of that experience and shaming them and now physically assaulting them when they say this is not fair. How many more women and young girls are we going to let this happen to? How many more assaults need to happen? How many careers stumped and cheated? It's going to get worse if more people don't speak out. Young women and girls need you to say enough. They need your protection as a logical people to say that this isn't the way to invoke positive change. This is not transphobia. It simply means that we are not there and might never be. So find a way, another way to be inclusive and loving towards trans people without it directly harming women. I hope you're okay, Riley Gaines. You are not alone, and with the little heart thing. And I think she is 100% correct here. And you'll notice that she did not go after anybody except the people attacking in this. She was not attacking trans people. She was attacking the people who committed the assault on Riley Gaines, specifically where she says cowards. And by the way, Gina Carano is not, she's a very pleasant person who tends to see the best in everybody.
Yeah.
She doesn't call people cowards. Like, this is not a thing that she does, at least not publicly.
Well, they are cowards because
they are, and she's absolutely right.
And one of the problems is that we've bred weak men. So instead of working harder on themselves, they just say, well, they have zero self-esteem. So they come with a whole host of other, fucking problems. And so they're like, I'm just gonna go, I can just go compete with the girls. I think some of them do it. I think like Leah Thomas is one of them. Fucking 6 feet tall and fucking like, I'm like, seriously, dude, like, what the hell is your problem? I don't believe that fucking punk ass. And quite frankly, I hate to say it, if I were to ever meet that dude in person, I'd be like, you're a fucking coward. And I'd be like, you are a fucking clown. I'm literally I'm literally like 4 inches taller than you, and we have a fucking body mass that is uncomparable to women. It's just disgusting.
Well, I mean, let me put it this way. Like, Kat, you're in the 5'1", 5'2" range, right?
I'm 5'1", yeah.
5'1", okay. That puts me at 16 inches taller than you.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I'm not a weak woman, but I have, I see the difference. And we're not talking athletes. We're talking just guys, move TVs around for a living. And even the smallest guy, hell, you want to know what really woke me up? Seeing the 70-year-old doing more able to lift more than me. This 70-year-old, okay? 70-year-old man. No, it's just, the other thing is just most of these people aren't even trans. Even the ones who claim to be aren't. It's a way to make you feel special. It's a trend. And so it's just, but you can see a lot of them aren't even trans.
A lot of this particular, this crowd, they weren't, a lot of them were just activists. A lot of those people were not trans either.
Yeah, a lot. What really kind of goes down to is like these people who are like, oh yeah, like I am a male to female swimmer, or I'm this athlete, I am this cyclist, whatever, and I won number one. What they really are looking forward is they just want to get acknowledged. They just want a participation trophy of just existing. Because I do know, and I have close friends who are trans and who are non-binary, but they're not ridiculous thinking of like, yeah, because I'm one is a biological male to a female, but they dang well know I'm not going to compete in female sports because I
Honestly.
have a bigger advantage. So like what those crazies are, they're just like, well, no, because I'm entitled to that big reward, and I'm going to work hard for it, and I will knock out any girl who's in my way.
Mhm.
So
No,
it's
you know what?
Go ahead, Cap.
Well, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to say this. The non-binary thing is one of the things that completely broke this whole thing. Because trans was very, very specific. They were very detailed. Now, you don't have to be gender dysphoric to be trans. It used to be you had to be diagnosed with gender identity disorder, and it's not easy to get diagnosed with gender identity disorder. They changed the name to gender dysphoria. This whole non-binary thing is not trans. And it's one of the things that completely... So everyone can now be trans. I've seen people who look like straight women going, I'm non-binary, I'm trans, and they're carrying around the stupid flags. It's a mental disorder that a very small number of people have. No sane person should want to have gender identity disorder. No sane person should want this. And it isn't just about, oh, well, I'm a girl who likes to play video games, that makes me trans. There's a lot more to being trans than liking stuff of the... It's a whole body issue. It's a whole way you view your body.
What you're doing, Kat, is a hobby. They're like, it's made for both guys and girls. Just because you play video games does not make you a trans person or a tomboy or anything. You're a girl who likes to play video games. And the best way, I conflict myself a lot, but the best way to extend the love out to those people, crazies or not, but there are some logical thinking people who they know, like, I have an advantage or I have a disadvantage, whatever it is. Like, I know I'm not going to compete because it's not fair to either or. The best way to describe it is just, yes, their thinking's messed up. I am a Christian. I do believe everyone is made in the image of God. The best way to reach out to them is show them love of Jesus Christ. And not really fully accepting him. Like, I don't agree with it. Yes, I don't. But still, Jesus still came down to save those who are lost, who don't know any better. Well, I wouldn't say any better, but just like who are afraid, who don't know anything about love. But that's why Christ came down. And what can we do besides be an example of who he is? And you can have, I've had discussions, I've had talks with my friends, and we've come to the conclusion, like, we can agree to disagree, but I'm not going to change my love for them because they're amazing people. They're very kind, very genuine, good laughs all around. But when it comes to, like, yes, the mutilation of children or other things being pushed, that's where they draw the line. And that's where I can still be friends with them because they know that is wrong.
Look. With regard to the sports thing, I have a very strict policy about this, and I know people aren't going to like to hear it. But when I wore the hijab, I wore it in high school. All right, when I first put on the hijab, I knew that a lot of choices would be closed to me, but I chose to wear the hijab. There are a lot of things that I can't do because I wear the hijab. We go to a hotel, I'm not jumping in the pool. So every decision you make has benefits and negatives. If you decide to transition, you cannot compete in sports, period. That's it. That is a sacrifice you have to be willing to make. I am sorry, but everyone has to make these choices. Every day we make choices where we decide to do something over something else, and we lose something from that choice, and we benefit something from that choice. And being trans, again, the thing that is so annoying about this whole thing is they've belittled something that is an actual very rare medical disorder into something, a club that, I mean, they're saying you don't have to be diagnosed. It's a trend. It's fun. No sane person should want to be trans. And it's insulting to the people who are actually trans, who struggle with gender identity disorder. It's insulting to them. And this non-binary nonsense, where non-binary is flat out a way to make you feel special. You want to feel special, you come out like, look at my special pronouns. Look at me getting attention. You're not trans. You are not trans if you're non-binary.
It's what I said earlier.
Yeah, that's true. And like, so Nomi, you went to see Matt Walsh this weekend, or this last little while ago, and there was one speaker there, one trans speaker there. I saw the clips for, who said, "I might be intersex for all we know." It's like, do you not? Do you know what intersex is? It means your junk's malformed.
Yeah.
You know, like I think you would probably know, right?
Yeah. And then for him being an EMT, a medical professional, like, how can you be this dumb?
Intersex is not something that you can just say, "Oh yeah, I'm." You know, we used
And
to have
then
another word for it, hermaphroditic.
yeah, and then Matt Walsh literally gave the medical definition. It's like that is
Mhm.
something wrong in nature. If you're a biological woman and you cannot get pregnant, by nature, that is something wrong. And yes, you need to
Mhm.
go get that checked out. If you're a biological man, you can't get pregnant. He does not have the organs.
Yeah, and it's not a club you can just join because you willy-nilly because you want to. It's
Yeah.
something that happens in
And
utero
then
that goes wrong, and he was absolutely 100% right about that. And actually, it is so rare. There are they do exist, but there are so few of them in the population. Percentage is so low that we don't have special stuff for them because they're that rare.
yeah. And then one thing too, he's like, so there's two things. And you say not there's non-binary, but there's two issues, male, female. And the next thing he's like, if someone would be born, someone doesn't have to be male, female, or whatever, someone was born without a leg. By that nature, a human being has to have two legs. And if that person was not born with a leg, something went wrong in that nature. And we don't know. Maybe if someone was born with both legs, but we don't know the circumstances. Maybe he had diabetes and had to get amputated, or maybe he was in a car accident. See, those are logical reasons. You can't put legs on a spectrum because, like, oh, like I'm intersex because, like, I don't have a leg. That's still a medical condition.
No, but gender GID is extremely rare. And that's why I'm telling you, we are going to have a crisis in a couple of years because the vast majority of these people are not trans, and they're going to wake up and realize the ones that actually. So the non-binary people, at least they're lucky; they haven't done permanent damage to their bodies. But I'm telling you, the vast majority of these people are going to wake up one day and go, "What the hell did I do?" They're going to be 35 and go, "I can't have kids."
You're
Because
right. They
I
are,
mean,
and it's going to be their own fault because they
Mhm.
listen to bad actors. And this is not okay. So I'm going to put it this way. This is like people who are born with Down syndrome or who are born with a chemical imbalance in the brain. Their brain doesn't doesn't absorb serotonin like it should. The human body is flawed, and in many cases. And so is what gender dysphoria is. Now, obviously, there are more cases nowadays because as a society we have stepped too far away from traditional norms. We let our the television, we let the phone, we let the iPad raise our kids instead of being parents.
See,
Because
that's the thing, right? I don't believe that there are more cases statistically. I really don't. I think that you get a
no,
bunch of kids who want to join a club and feel
Yes,
special,
when
so
it
they go
comes
along
to
with
the kids, yes. When it comes to
Yeah,
the
but
kids,
gender
adults too.
dysphoria
but
itself, I don't believe there has been a real increase in the actual disorder.
no,
I
I
would
don't
even
think.
say the adults. I'm
Hold
sorry,
on,
but
hold on, Kat. Let me finish my point.
okay, sorry.
Because no, I don't think there's an increase in cases, just like I don't think there's a drastic increase in Down syndrome cases. It is young kids who are looking at this, and their parents are too busy focused on this, trying to get the likes and the retweets on Twitter or on Facebook and all that crap, and instead of parenting their kids and sitting down for like Sunday dinner and crap like that. Their social media is raising children, and so that is the drastic uptake. And yes, there will come a time when these people drastically regret it. And the problem is, though, is that you cannot police other people's actions unless it's illegal. You
Yeah.
can't you
Mhm.
And
can't you
I was go ahead, Ryan.
I was just going to say you can't do it. You have to let people make these mistakes. And if a parent decides to let their kid chop their genitals off at 14, that's child abuse. And
Mhm.
quite frankly, even though right now it's not illegal, in the future it's starting to become so. So I hate to see children become the victims of this, but it's no different than children being the victims of child predators or children being the victims of their own parents abusing them and then neglecting them. And the same, animal. I mean, human beings are awful people, and
Yeah.
we unfortunately we do the worst things to ourselves and to others But you know, and it takes good people to stand up and say, hey, this isn't cool, and that's what we're doing. We can't yell at other people. It doesn't do any good because they're just going to yell back.
And
And
one thing that I've noticed that after we saw Matt Walsh, I had dinner with some people, like my friends and my family, and we went over and talked about it. But we kind of came to the conclusion, like, yeah, social media is a huge contributing factor to people feeding into their mental health and like, oh yeah, I'm this and that. But also, what parents are doing is also abusive. When that person came out, Jazz, I am Jazz. She was the first, well, they were the first person to like come out on national television, like, yeah, I'm the first transgender kid and blah, 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 this. Like, who made you that? It was the mom. And there's been clips resurfacing, and it's the mom, like, oh, like, I put her to this, I did this, and like I went to go take her to get her surgery for like a vagina, whatever. And if like I remember there's a clip where she threatened the kid, like, if that closes up, I'm going to kill you. Like, are you doing this for your own clout versus your daughter, like your child? Yeah. So like
it's child abuse.
Because the mom was so fixated on like, I'm going to be the first parent to like really like transition my kid to be whoever they want to be. And yeah, the mom, got popular. The whole family did. But this kid's mental expense, and like, even there's now episodes where this child is crying because they don't know what the heck is going on, and the mom let that happen because she wanted it.
No, but the thing, my main issue though, okay, look, at this point, I'm with, I've decided, I've been getting ads for Zakat, so you know what, I've decided, to hell with it. America wants to destroy their own kids, fine. I'm going to start donating money overseas to Middle Eastern Muslim charity for food and stuff for kids who are starving, whose parents actually genuinely care about their kids. On the other, my main issue though with all of this is we are being silenced. The fact what happened to Riley Gaines is terrifying. The fact that I have some dude running around who looks like a dude, sounds like a dude, and if I by mistake call him a dude, I'm going to get complained about. I can't help it. By instinct, you hear the guy, you see the guy, you're going to call him a dude. It's not even like you're doing it on purpose to be mean. It's your instinct. This is a guy. And yet I don't talk to him. I flat out will not talk to him at all because I know that I'm going to slip up, and he's done it in the past. He's gone and he's complained about it. It's like, you don't pass at all, Habibi. You really don't. And you go, and so it's like, that's the problem. Our freedom is being silenced. And then you have them whining on Twitter like children, and yelling at us, threatening us, insulting us. It's like, grow up.
Your freedom isn't necessarily being silenced.
I can lose my job.
Well, if you go out of your way, if you make a mistake, then I have a feeling. Look, and I'm not defending the corporation, by the way. You have the freedom to not talk to this person whatsoever. And quite frankly, if I were to deal with a person like that, I'd call them by their name. Or use as little terminology as possible, because yes, unfortunately, there are corporations that are embracing this garbage, and they're shoehorning it right now into their HR policies because they think that that's what people really want, when it's not what people actually want. It's a group of people, whether it be mental illness or the other side of it, they see that they get special treatment, and they're like, well, I'm going to be this now because now I get to be one of the specials and I could do whatever the hell I want. And that's kind of where it's running rampant. So, and until the swings the other direction, there's not a whole lot we can do. You can keep your head low. You can speak out, obviously, on YouTube and on social media about it all day.
Do you remember the Muslim woman who got threatened?
Oh yeah,
that one in particular hit me. That one in particular really bothered me. The fact that this Muslim woman was a comedian talking about Jeffrey March, and her kids were stalked, her vehicle was damaged.
That's illegal.
Yeah,
that's
and yet
illegal.
Nobody did anything about it.
I mean, if somebody wants to say on social media, dude, you're a piece of shit, DM me, dude, you're a piece of shit, I'm gonna effing end you. That's
a threat.
It's not a threat. It has to be a credible threat. That's the difference.
Even if they say, like, I'm going to effing end you.
Yeah,
No, this woman
you
had
have
credible.
if there has to be, they have to have motive and opportunity to do
No,
so.
this one
Now,
is
if they
credible.
if they show up to where, let's say, if they show up to a place that I am and they've DM'd me, let's say 5 minutes before running into me, they're like, "Hey, I'm gonna F and end you," and then all of a sudden I run into this person, and they're like, "Did you get my message?" And of course, that's a credible threat because they showed up to where I am. Now, saying something random on Twitter, is not, it's not credible.
No, this woman. Sorry, I'm sorry, dude. She got messages.
No, that's
with
what
the
I'm saying.
timing
Like,
of where her children are at. They damaged her car.
that's a credible threat. So that is actually
Mhm.
something that breaks the law. There is a fine line, and it's, I can. People have said traditionally for fucking decades, be like, "Oh man, I'm gonna fucking kill you, fuck you, guy." Like, it's hot air and it's empty words. Now, if you
Mhm.
tell somebody I'm gonna fucking kill you and you pull out a gun and you point it at them, guess what? That becomes credible, and now it's a felony. So there's a fine line between freedom of speech and the actual threat of taking away somebody else's actual rights. And so that's where it gets really meddlesome and really muddy when it comes to social media, because you can tell somebody from clear across the country, I'm going to find where you live and I'm going to come into your house and I'm going to end you. And it's like, well, if you can't prove that they know where you live, if they're not caught outside your house, if they're not caught in the vicinity of where your kids go to school or something like that, it's just hollow words.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's where things get, like I said, super muddy, and people are angry for whatever reason right now. They've been angry ever since about 2012, so going on over a decade, and it's gonna take a long time, and unfortunately our media and our politicians make it 10 times worse.
Mhm.
And so it needs to be normal everyday people who talk openly about this stuff. And I think there are more and more people coming out. Obviously Blair Wright's been talking about it for years. Buck Angel, the one TikTok star, she's had the full surgery. She has a huge following on TikTok, but she's come out about it. I think her name's like Katie or something, like Katie something. She's come out saying no. She's like, you should not be competing in women's sports. It's
Mhm.
not fair.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that the fact that she's a huge TikTok star and now she's coming out about this stuff, she's going to get flagged on TikTok and they're going to axe her, because now she's part of the problem.
Yeah. Getting a little bit back to the Riley Gaines thing. I do have a little.
Those were credible threats, by the way, because they ambushed and
Yeah.
surrounded them. Just for the record.
Oh, she's suing.
Yeah, those are little credible threats.
And what we're hoping to do is to keep things peaceful and
make her lose her flight
and move forward. Okay. Tell her to pay us. Tell her to pay us, and then she can go. $10 each.
Oh, extortion.
That's
nice.
Ransom.
Yeah.
That's ransom. That makes it kidnapping.
Yep.
Which is
illegal.
a federal crime.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's extortion at minimum if they wanted to downplay it, but it's kidnapping and a ransom.
And did they do anything about it?
No, the cop should have did something right there, because it's a felony. It's like, all right, dude, turn around, place your hands behind your back.
This goes on a little bit, and all he's doing is trying to placate the crowd.
Yep.
But you might get paid for this shit, so we can get paid for it too. On a public campus that we abuse.
So what's the end goal here? We're cooperating, so what's next?
So they need to do their job and get around here. We created a path. It's here. I can't speak to all of you when we're over talking to each other. We're not going to hear each other.
Don't let her hold.
Then no, you're allowed to use. There's a difference. So what we want to do is maintain what we're doing right now, and as the speaker elicits, we can continue our conversation.
So he says, what we want to do is maintain what we're doing right now, which is what exactly? Barricading the door that she's hiding behind from these fucking psychos, right? How is that going in any way to solve the problem, other than obviously the crowd is calmer now because she's out of their sight than they were? You know, because there are other clips of this stuff out there. They went after her. They were screaming at the top of their lungs, saying some very ugly shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that Riley Gaines herself has talked a little bit about how a man in a dress physically assaulted her during this time.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
You know, and that's the phrase she used, "man in a dress." You know, and yeah, it
Yeah,
Is
in a way, because I was reflecting, I was like, okay, because we see in Tennessee of like all the trans people storming the Capitol and what happened the other like a few days ago. Um, for Matt Walsh coming to southern New Mexico, and there was some protesters. They did not block the doors for people to go in from the attendance, and they were shouting, they were screaming, but they were civil. What I was reflecting on is that if any of those protests were to get hostile, making those threats like Riley Gaines just went through, extortion, ransom, kidnapping, whatever, if any of those people did that here in southern New Mexico, they dang well know that if they're going to mess around, they are going to find out, because both left and right here in New Mexico is a blue state. They know like you are not allowed to do that, and they're going to get their butts whipped.
sure,
Yeah,
but this happened at SFSU in San Francisco in
I know,
California.
San
because you can see
Francisco.
you see the difference. Like California
Mhm.
is blue, but not like New Mexico is not as blue as California,
No.
because in California is literally criminals living their best life,
Yeah, it's
and
psycho.
And
yeah,
farmers
so
getting fucked for it.
yeah,
It's fucking anarchy in California.
and then
Yeah,
southern
well,
New Mexico is a very agriculture farmer
and
life.
hilariously, all their governor would talk about yesterday was Tennessee, as opposed to addressing the terrorism and the kidnapping and the extortion in his own country, or his own, I say country, his own state.
I mean, he
Might as
Might as
believes
well
it's his
be a
own
foreign
country.
country at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn fucking third world country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That fucking piece of shit. Like, he's got to go. Fucking smooth talking,
Oh, they
slick haired
tried.
bitch.
They tried that, buddy. They
Yeah,
tried
I
that.
don't-
Remember?
I'm sure. Yeah,
I'm
I'm sure that was real a real above par. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
The problem here is that as soon as basically a hostage type situation, or even what would be called what is it shit criminal, I can't think of it. Anyway, it's not necessarily kidnapping. Kidnapping usually is the process of taking somebody over state lines against their will. It's called it's basically you're keeping somebody from leaving a domicile, but it's still a felony. It's just like just like one less class. Instead of like a class 3, it's like a class 4. Yeah, Bo, forcible confinement would be a great way to put it. So so basically you're forcing somebody to be confined against their will. And basically what should have happened then is one of the officers should have got on a cell phone, should have got on the radio and said, we need SWAT immediately. And that's
and here you're right. And here's where a lot of the stuff that's going on with this, like certain words are getting thrown around again. And I think in this case, rightfully so. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I'm sure most of you are, the definition of terrorism is the use of violence and or intimidation to achieve political aims.
And it is so,
which is what this was. They were intimidating her to achieve a political aim on that campus. That's terrorism.
Yep.
No, and the people in general. I mean, honestly, I'm terrified of these people at this point. Like when a while back Shadow wanted to talk about what happened in Nashville, I was like, no, I don't want to risk it because I've got family too, and I don't know if that guy I work with knows what my YouTube channel is going to do anything about it. Yeah, we do have. There is our freedom of speech is being curtailed. Our ability to, we're living in fear of these lunatics who, if you say anything against them, they will start screaming transphobia. And the best example I did was as a joke. I said that imagine if after 9/11, all of the Muslims said that, if you don't acknowledge my religion as the one true faith, that's Islamophobic. It's the exact same thing. I'm not going to acknowledge your reality. I don't expect you to be telling me my religion is the one true faith. these people, the problem is they know that they are standing on a very shaky. They know in their heart that it's not real, so
Well,
they
and
need to
this, you're
force
right.
people. Yeah.
This brings up something that I wish I had visuals to show you guys. James Lindsay posted something a few days ago after the person in Colorado was arrested with plans and a manifesto to basically carry out a copycat of the Tennessee shooting. And he had posted this thing that it appears he's now deleted, and my dumbass didn't take a screenshot, so I do apologize for that. But what he posited in this, so the theory that he came up with is a dark one, but I happen to think that there might be something to it. I think that this is just the beginning, and we are going to see a slew of copycats, and the body count's going to rise on both sides, and it will become George Floyd 2.0.
Because it's all leading up to the election.
Yep.
These people, these people aren't stupid.
But I mean, I think that there's some
and
tinfoil hat time, but I think that there's some serious backing from some serious people who are pushing for this sort of thing, maybe talking to these people online, maybe kind of nudging them in the right direction, maybe giving them
that's what AOC is doing by playing video games with these non-thinking people, because she's doing that to gain their vote.
Well, that's exactly what Karine Jean-Pierre is doing from the White House podium. Like, trans people will stand and fight and be fierce and it's like, you realize that a very mentally ill individual, not even 2 weeks ago, mowed down a bunch of kids.
Yep. Now that I do have that clip right here.
She's such a piece
this
of
comes
shit.
from at Amuse on Twitter. The White House inciting more transgender killers and normalizing violence. It has to stop. And this is just what we see in the public eye, by the way.
LGBTQI plus kids are resilient. They are fierce. They fight back. They're not going anywhere. And
this is what they say, by the way, in the wake of violence committed by transgender
someone
people.
from that community that she just listed.
Why do you think
they did the same thing in 2020?
Why do you think they're letting these people in the military? Because it's the same thing that gangs have done for decades. They send their gang members into the military, they get professionally trained, and then they come out and they teach their fellow gang members.
Oh,
you didn't know that? That's been going on for decades. Why do you think they want all this diversity, equity, and inclusion in the military?
Damn.
Have their back.
This shit is focused. Because
this administration.
It's just meant to sow discord. It's meant to make people afraid. So we say, okay, let's give up more of our rights. Please protect me, government. The government can't protect you ever.
Yep.
No, I learned that.
Ever. 14 minutes was the fastest response time for Nashville PD. 14 minutes. That was a fucking phenomenal response time. From time of call to time of dead on arrival, you know what I mean, on the ground. 14 minutes. You think you can survive 14 minutes when somebody's trying to mow you down?
No, and those officers in Texas should be arrested because what the brave men in Tennessee did what Texas couldn't, and that's actually very shameful because I'm a Texan myself.
Yeah, that really bothers me. I don't care if you're the first guy on the scene and the other person is at least probably 3 minutes away. Guess what? I'm here. I'm entering the main entrance. Send additional units in after me. You just in the fucking door, dude. In the goddamn door. I don't care if I get fucking mowed down in the process. If I'm the only one and that's 3 minutes until another officer gets here, in the fucking door.
Especially when there are kids involved.
It's not hard. I've had this training. It's not fucking hard at all. It doesn't matter if there's 1 or 100 in the door. Sorry. All right. I get a little grumpy about that kind of stuff because Texas really angered me.
Yeah.
Especially the fucking what was the DEA or whatever fucking agent wanted to go in the door and he was told to stand down. Like that's
Yeah.
horse shit. And then the other officer who had a kid in there and they took his gun. That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. I will say a funny story though, just so we can make it a little lighter, because I know Ryan, you're a little heated up. Don't get me wrong, I'm heated up too.
I'll be okay. I got my frustration out on that one.
Yeah. Well, when I went to go see Matt Walsh, of course, there's a few law enforcement agencies there, and then there's security. Like you had to get pat down, you had to go through a metal detector. You have to put your items on the table so they can check it out. And I only went with like a small handbag, which would have my wallet and my phone. But in my handbag, I have this little secret zipper compartment. And not like I was being sneaky about anything, but the security guard's like, hey, like, she looked at me. She was very serious. She's like, I'm going to open the zipper. I'm going to see what's inside of it. It's like, okay, there's nothing to be worried about. There's snacks in there. And she looked at me. She's like, snacks? Like, yeah, open it. And she was kind of afraid, but she opened it, and sure enough, there was snacks. There was like there was the.
She's like, there's snacks this time.
Yeah. Well, she's like, what are these? I'm like, chocolate covered pretzels that taste like cookie, like
oh
Thin
my
Mints.
God, you God.
You took those with you. You evil. I'm telling you, know me. One of these days we gotta meet in person. You gotta give me a bag of those.
I will get you a bag, but like she looked at me, she's like,
more with the.
She's like, these are really snacks. I'm like, yes, I did. You want
you make sure that bag's an IV drip so that she can mainline them.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, no, I went with snacks. Like I did not know how long it was going to take, and I was already hungry as it is because I didn't eat before I got there. And yeah, I was snacking while I was listening to his speech, and I'm just a huge snack food person. Like I don't know who I told this, but when I went to go see Mario, I snuck in 30 pieces of chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A.
Oh my God.
And a chocolate, no, not chocolate, but a cookies and cream milkshake and a large drink for me and my friend to enjoy it. Because
how did you sneak
big
that
is your
in?
fucking handbag?
Yeah.
I have several handbags. So
Dude,
I mean, look,
is it like a Russian nesting doll kind of situation?
Mary Poppins.
Look, I ain't mad. Like going sneaking snacks into a movie theater is just good. It's just
oh,
smart.
I am huge of sneaking meals inside movie theaters. But I thought it was just funny because Matt Walsh, and it was a very serious thing because you're Young American Foundation, they paid a lot of money for him to come out here to Southern New Mexico. So yeah, of course, security is going to be high end. There's going to be undercovers, people there to keep his safety a priority. But there's nothing that says like you can't bring in snacks or food. So I took advantage of it. And once I'm idle and I'm hungry, you don't want to see me hangry. So that's why I was like, all right, I'll just snack on my pretzels. And we went to Buffalo Wild Wings after.
Yeah. Let's finish this clip real quick.
Yeah.
It's only 47 seconds, so
it feels like 47 hours.
Well, that's because we've been sitting here talking while it's
No,
going.
it's because it's convenient.
So here we go.
Not going anywhere, and we have their back. This administration has their back. We are so proud of the kids across this country who have organized protest and school walkouts to tell the politicians in their states to stop this legislative bullying. I know that these political attacks can really take toll on people's mental health. So I want to say directly to LGBTQI plus kids, you are loved just as you are, just the way you are. And if you're feeling
I really, 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 really highly despise that woman.
I actually miss Jen
don't.
Psaki. I miss Jen Psaki.
I don't do that either, but I don't actually hate Corinne Jean-Pierre because she's just a fucking mouthpiece and she knows it.
Yes.
She is there. She is specifically yes, but she specifically checks specific boxes so that she can say those awful things for her masters without getting pushback.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she is who she is. Why she's press secretary. She is a goddamn diversity hire, and she knows it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I know. I really mega loathe that woman because she she's there. She stands there and says the vile things, and it's like, do you not have a soul? Would you not want to have a soul enough to be like, I don't want to say that? And quite frankly, if you're going to make
Carrie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she opens her mouth and I'm just like immediately like, you're gonna say something so horrible, something so horrible.
But like,
Yeah,
like
same.
what kind of it baffles me that this community, and for her to say that, like, who's going out and talk? I mean, yeah, I know there's asshole people in the world, but like, who's really going up to their faces like, I hate you because you're a trans person, I'm gonna beat you up and stuff like that. I dang well don't. I won't give too much information, but Ryan, I actually did mention this in the private Twitter chat. The one person who was asking Matt Walsh a question.
Mhm.
I have come into contact with that person before, and that
Mhm.
person is a genuine nice person. I remember having a good conversation with him. And it was good. It was genuine, but like, I didn't go up to him and be like, oh, because you're wearing a dress, like I can't talk to you. It's like, no, where we were at was a nice event and it was good talks and everything. Like, I don't know what's coming into their minds that they're creating this scenario like I'm being attacked. I didn't attack you.
From people like Corinne Jean-Pierre telling them that they're victimized all the time. It's no different than the racism crap after what happened with George Floyd, who quite frankly, no, he was a giant piece of shit and he had a heart attack. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
I'm not
heart attack,
no,
but
you're
also
not
high
wrong.
on yeah.
Oh, he was
Well,
high
he had a
as
heart
fuck.
attack because of the fentanyl. Fentanyl kills
He
people.
ingested it. He swallowed it. He has swallowed enough to make his heart explode.
He swallowed enough to make a couple of horses' hearts explode.
Yes, like
not
I'm
only that,
sorry.
like it was in the pandemic too, where there was a stay-at-home order that he did not go into that convenience store wearing a mask, and he was using a counterfeit bill. He was a criminal.
Yeah,
he went in knowing.
I'm not disputing that, Nomi. What I'm saying, what I'm saying, and I'm in 100% agreement with Ryan on this. That man was dead before they slapped the cuffs on him.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not saying that Derek Chauvin didn't go above and beyond his duties in a sense. Like I don't necessarily like the way this situation was handled. It is okay to put your knee on the shoulder blade of somebody to keep them down. It did absolutely look like his knee was on his neck. That is not approved. Which is fine. Excessive force, assault, maximum manslaughter, maybe second-degree manslaughter, but no, it is not.
Maximum.
It is well, yeah, no, I'd say max, like second-degrry manslaughter, like nothing higher than that, because they charged him with first, second-degree, and manslaughter charges. They don't make sense. First-degree murder is intentional. Like, I'm going to kill you. Boom, 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 dead.
Also, Ryan, I kind of want to ask you, because you have experience of being in law enforcement. It has been reported that George Floyd and the officer have had a past together where they used to work at a same facility or same security job, something like that. Wouldn't that be conflict of interest, knowing that this officer was going to the call and knowing that George Floyd was the person, the suspect? Wouldn't that fall into that? Like, why did this officer... I mean, if he was around and if he was called to that, like his particular unit, I understand, but
no, it's not a conflict of interest.
Okay.
I know one person
now let's say hypothetically that let's say that they used to be friends or something like that. There's a bar fight, they have a falling out. George Floyd knocks the shit out of him. George Floyd gets arrested. Then, of course, him going to a call to possibly arrest George Floyd, that is a conflict of interest because then, of course, there would be bad blood there. So there would be the intent to possibly skew evidence to but it would have to be that direction. It would have to be for what's his name, Chauvin, to break his oath. But no, I hadn't heard that about a job. I heard they had previous interactions. I was assuming it was under under law enforcement pretenses. In George Floyd was what we call a frequent flyer, which means he's routinely cuffed and put in the back of the car and gets to take a trip to jail.
He was known to law enforcement.
Yeah, he was known to law enforcement. So, but no, as for the charges, yes, they are all 3 contradictory charges. First degree murder is with intent. Second degree murder is with malice or without care. So say you fire a bunch of bullets in the air and it kills 3 people. That's second degree murder. You didn't intend to kill them, but because of your negligent actions, you did so kill them. And manslaughter is without intent, and it's due to your recklessness. So that's manslaughter. So let's say hypothetically, you're driving down the road, you get in a drag race with your friend, and all of a sudden minivan, you blow a red light, minivan pulls in front of you, you just decimate the minivan, you're going to get charged with vehicular manslaughter. Because you didn't intend to kill them, but due to your negligence, you did. So, yeah, it's it all depends on the situation, but no, they charged him with all 3 of those, and he got convicted of all 3 of those, and they're all very different charges. It makes zero fucking sense.
But on top of that, they said that that once someone testified that he could have used a taser, that he actually could have used more force, and that he didn't use excessive force because he had the option to use more.
Well, the problem is that so George Floyd said that he in the back of the car he couldn't breathe, and he was panicking, so that when they got him out of the car, he started panicking more and he started fighting with him. And that's when all 4 officers had to put him on the ground, because he was a large man. He was not small.
Yeah.
He was bigger than probably 2 of those cops put together. Especially the 2 Asian ones. So it was one of those situations that they realized, when you're having what's called excited delirium, that is a severe overdose where your nervous system goes into a state of shock, and your nervous system starts shutting down, basically causing it to where you're having heart problems, basically everything that keeps you alive is and so once they found out he couldn't, he was having that issue, they did call for an ambulance. But the whole thing is that they sat on the ground for 8 minutes and whatever the fuck's 8 minutes and 9 seconds or whatever. Well, I hate to say it, an ambulance doesn't show up that fucking fast, because sometimes it's clear across goddamn town.
Yep.
So do I think that sitting there with your knee on his neck for that long, the 4 of you could have got him into, could have probably tried to wrangle him a little bit better, maybe try to get him to sit up. But if he was that excited and he was still resisting that much, there is some fault there. But at the same time, the whole 8 minutes and like 7 seconds or 9 seconds, whatever the fuck they kept talking about, completely irrelevant. That's the time that seemed to be the time that it took the ambulance to get there after they pulled him out of the car. And they were already calling for EMS once they pulled him out of the car, because he says, I can't breathe. So
can't breathe because your lungs are shutting down.
Can't breathe because you took a fucking enough fentanyl to kill fucking 5 cattle,
which causes your lungs to shut down, among other things.
Yeah.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Especially things like fentanyl. Fentanyl is lethal. Almost every time.
Yeah, fentanyl is the most lethal drug on the market right now.
They keep letting it in.
And they're not only just smuggling it over the border, they're lacing it into cocaine, they're lacing it into pot. If you do drugs, I'm gonna say, unless you go to a fucking dispensary and you know that's licensed to get your fucking weed, knock your shit off. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're gonna end up in a fucking coffin.
Yeah, we had the same problem with PCP in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people died then too.
It's so easy to lace another drug with something, just a little bit of hint there, so it's a little more addictive and you want more.
Yeah, the town I lived in back in it would have been 1998, 99, somewhere in that era. There was a batch of weed that came to town that was getting passed around that the people who brought it to town didn't tell anybody was laced with high-grade PCP.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God.
So in case y'all aren't wondering what old angel dust does, it makes you feel like God. to a point where you cannot feel pain. So you could in theory put your hand through about 3 walls, break every fucking bone in your hand and your arm all the way up to your shoulder, and you would not feel it till you came down, assuming you survived. This is also how a lot of death by like suicide by cops happen, because these guys that get super high on this shit and they're like, oh, I can take anything, and they'll walk into a PD and start attacking people, and it'll take 300 rounds to put them down, because even though they're dead, it hasn't caught up to their brains yet on account of the drug blocking their receptors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a nasty drug, and they were slipping this shit into weed that kids were smoking.
Mm-hmm. Seen dudes get fucking tased on PCP, and they just take the prongs out and throw it back at the cop like "fuck you," and then of course you hear that at that point all bets are off. Like that's it. It's like all right, then it's just. And it just, I mean, guys just keep do. It takes fucking 15 rounds before the guy goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're literally walking. They're literally walking zombies.
When I say 300, that was not an arbitrary number that happened to somebody. It's sort of a friend of a friend of a friend scenario. Dude got high. He walked in. He took over 300 rounds from the police. It took 3 slugs to the head before he dropped. 3 slugs to the head. You know how much head is left after that?
None.
It's it took that long for his nervous system to stop acting like it was on the attack.
Yeah, that's way past being Swiss cheese.
Yeah, it does. It messes you up pretty bad. And it's still not as bad as fentanyl.
No, it's not. If the border crossings, if people come in here illegally don't bother you, then the fentanyl crossing of an open border should be what really is bothering everybody, because it's about it's like 300,000 people, is it a month that die from fentanyl?
Mm-hmm.
It's something like that.
Yeah, there's your real pandemic, your real epidemic, right there.
But then again, it just probably go to show you they're like, oh look, population control.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, honestly, if they thought that, if they took that shit seriously, you'd think they'd be cracking down on its coming into the country.
They don't care.
You'd think, but that isn't what it's about. It's never been about that. It's been about
Zillage 300,000 a month. 300,000, not 3,000. 300,000.
Yeah, it's not good. And it just, and all of this goes back to the same shit. Always with these same assholes and the same stuff. And I know Carrie's been screaming Iran in the chat there. There may be something to that, but honestly, I think it's this dude. Yep. I think it's his people, and I think that Iran works for him, not the other way around.
Yeah. Come on. I mean, let's be honest.
But it does. It all comes back to that, which actually brings up the other thing. I had to drop the clip out because I was running on low bandwidth here for a second. But there was a professor at the same university, by the way, 2 days before what happened with Riley Gaines, who flat out said, communism is woke. Woke is communism.
Mm-hmm.
He said, they used to call it communism back in the day. It's what we call woke now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We talked about this a little bit last night. We did. And that made me want to bring something up on the screen, which does not require too much bandwidth because it's just on my stupid computer. Here we go. This I got from Uber Geek earlier this week. This is what I was talking about last night.
Yep. It says at the top here, in May 1919 at Dusseldorf, Germany, Allied forces captured a very significant document, Communist Rules for Revolution. As you read these rules now, 50 years later, keep in mind that you are reading and hearing every day via news media. Now, they said 50 years later. That means that whoever, typed up this little bit up at the top here, that was in the 1960s. 1969 is the time period they're talking about. But I'm going to go over these rules with you guys and tell me this doesn't sound like exactly what's been happening this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
A, corrupt the young, get them away from religion, get them interested in sex, make them superficial, destroy their ruggedness. B, get control of all means of publicity, thereby 1, get people's minds off their government by focusing their attention on athletics, sexy books, plays, and other trivialities. 2, divide the people into hostile groups by constantly harping on controversial matters of no importance. 3, destroy the people's faith in their natural leaders by holding the latter up for contempt, ridicule, obloquy. 4, always preach true democracy, but seize power as fast and as ruthlessly as possible. 5, by encouraging governmental extravagance, destroy the credit, produce fear of inflation with rising prices and general discontent. 6, promote unnecessary strikes in vital industries, encourage civil disorders, and foster a lenient and soft attitude on the part of the government towards such disorders. Antifa. 7, by specious argument, cause the breakdown of the old moral virtues, honesty, and sobriety. C, cause the registration of all firearms on some pretext with a view to confiscating them and leave the population helpless.
We're a lot closer
This
to
was written 100 years ago, or at least it was found 100 years ago in Germany.
It pretty darn close to the bottom there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
A little too close to the bottom.
So what do? We keep talking about, but what do we do? I'm not one to give up I'm not willing to give up my freedom. Flat out, I'm not willing.
Well, we continue to speak out, and we continue to fight in any way we can. And quite frankly, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but if the goose steppers ever come to my door, I know how that's going to end. I'm just going to say that.
Hey,
Gaul, Shadow. Gaul was a loose affiliation of pagan tribal leaders. It was not what I would call civilized. There's a reason they lost to Rome. Just saying. And why they're the French now. Speaking of which, you also hear about that shit about the French storming the BlackRock headquarters. Yeah. You know,
I've heard about it, but I don't know much of like what really went down.
I think it started over a dispute about retirement benefits being
apparently they're going from 62 to 64 because look, I'm sorry, but oh my God, you have to work until you're 64. Poor baby.
No, I think it's like 67.
No, it's 62 to 64. I heard multiple people talking
That's
about
still younger than it is in the States.
Yes, they have one of the youngest retirement ages in the world.
You know, on the one hand, I get
absolutely
burning
sure
BlackRock. I do. But on the other hand, fucking pussies, the French.
Yeah, no, it is absolutely. I am 100 because I've heard it from multiple separate sources. So Dan Bongino, I think Ben Shapiro spoke about it. I think I heard it on Fox News as well. It's like you're pathetic. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah, and it, you know, it's just. But again, with the BlackRock stuff, I mean, you know, who's calling BlackRock shots? You know. So I do kind of get it, but I also find it interesting that they're revolting over a small change in retirement setup over there, whereas all of the other horrifying shit that's happening in that country, they're just letting happen.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, that's exactly what we're doing here. I mean, we've got so many big problems, and yet. Well, and then there's
it's in the rules. It's like you gotta get them focused on things that are not important.
The one that I found interesting was the Israeli protests, where apparently they're protesting changing the court system, where the court system is actually very, very liberal and very I think it's like appointed. And apparently this change would make the court system more
yeah.
open, and so they don't want changes.
Richard says he had a French manager at a company I worked for. She immigrated from France to get away from socialism. She doesn't like Texas and is desiring a move to California. LOL.
No.
Yeah, that's not gonna work out for her.
Yeah.
You know, it's
definitely not.
If she thinks France is bad.
Well, in her defense, she probably thinks it's home if she moves back to California, or if she moves to California.
I mean, to a degree, I would say that California is worse because at least in France they're not hiding the socialism.
Yeah.
Eh.
They're not still saying that it's free and democratic, which it never was.
Are they really hiding it in California at this point?
Yes and no. They
Or is
still
it
call
just-
it democracy for now.
Or is it just that people are just so stupid in California that they don't realize what's blatantly right in front of their faces?
Again, that is usually the people in the cities, which are obviously the most heavily populated. People outside of the cities in California tend to be a lot more red-pilled and a lot more angry about this sort of thing. And plus, these are the policies aren't fucking the people in the cities as hard as they are the people in the country, the farmers and the ranchers and the people who make sure that California eats. Speaking of which, Kat, did you need to?
I'm gonna be heading out in a couple of minutes. I don't know. I like I said, I don't know what we're gonna do.
Honestly,
the Riley Gaines thing was terrifying. She just went to talk. I mean, I'm sorry. And the fact that you need that much security for Matt Walsh when it used to be you could have somebody who totally has security with you come to speak. And the fact,
yeah. Honestly, Kat, you're right. We're running out of options, and the only options that will be left to us we cannot openly say on social media of any kind.
I mean, look at Canada. They're already doing that.
yeah, Canada is terrifying.
But it was just like this week that, like, if you misgender someone or criticize of their identity, whatever they're
Or
part of the alphabet community, you will get what like jail time and a $2,500 fine.
I believe that's something they're trying to pass, and according to it, they won't have enough votes, but it's still fucked up.
Yeah.
Or no. What's even more terrifying is the Restrict Act.
Oh yeah, there barely has anything to do with fucking TikTok.
But it has nothing to do with TikTok.
Yeah, I know that's what they're selling it as, though.
It's about regulation
Yeah.
of the internet. That's all it's ever been about. The government's been trying to figure out a way to regulate and profit from and control the internet since it became a thing. So far, they have been relatively unsuccessful, at least until certain people and certain programs rose to the top, like Facebook and Zuckerberg, for example. Who were all on board with that shit. But before they, gained all of the power that they have now, they were just dweebs in a fucking, shitty little dorm room, and the internet was the Wild West, and there was no way to regulate it at the time.
No, and that won't pass either. There's not gonna be anywhere near enough votes for that crap.
Yeah. Well, and there's like the dark web was a direct response to Google and Facebook and so on taking over the majority of the internet. It was. Now there's a lot of awful shit on the dark web, and I do not recommend anybody go there for any reason if you can help it. But there's always going to be that underground that can't be like tracked and controlled and that sort of thing. But it's
the resilience of the dweebs on the internet is always going to be unmatched, whether the government wants to try to control it. Look how long they've been trying to control the war on drugs.
Oh God, I don't think they're trying to at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway,
which was not a war on drugs. It was a war on black men in the home.
We'll give you a close up here.
I'm gonna head out. I'll be back. I'm gonna just get something to eat.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy some dinner.
Enjoy it. Look at that lovely little thumbnail she has there. Yeah. Wow, everybody's off camera, so I don't want to be on camera either.
All right, that's fine. Yeah,
I really don't fucking care.
Nobody wants to see
You're doing us a
your
service
face anyway, unless you're
fuck you guys. Hey, I have orange. Fuck you up.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that's a simple
not,
color correction.
Yeah, about saying it's not like they don't make orange dildos.
Yeah.
Know me?
Wait, what?
No, what happened?
I've been looking at the screen, just seeing your rant. I don't know what you just said. Besides,
Oh, good, because good. Just you know what? Never mind. Your hair looks nice.
My camera is not even on.
It's not the point. Shut up.
All I heard was
he's been married too, so he knows how this works. You can't see me, and it's like, but I know that you look great today.
Yeah.
okay.
Always make the ladies feel special if you want to have a long, healthy life and not be 6 feet under the basement.
Did you get? I've mentioned this on a Mirror's channel before. Do you guys know about how Sicilian women back in the day used to keep their husbands loyal?
Mm-mm.
They would poison their breakfast with a slow-acting poison. If the husband did not come home after work for dinner, say he was out dallying around or hanging out with the boys or whatever, he would not get the antidote that was slipped into his dinner and have a very bad night.
Fuck!
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's too evil for me. I would never do that.
Yeah. What would you do since you brought this up?
Probably sleep in a different room.
Oh,
that's not a punishment. And most women make guys sleep on the couch and they're like, okay, I'm gonna fall asleep watching TV.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I'm not
junior
gonna get
varsity
back.
league.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get back at you, but like, all right, cool. Well,
See, if the dudes were lucky, it was not a poison that would kill them, just make them incredibly sick and in pain.
Why? Well, don't they have to? They have to work. Why would you do that?
Well, that's probably why they would use the ones that didn't kill them and just put them in a lot of fucking pain, so that they could go back to work eventually.
I mean,
because obviously, if he dies, he can't provide for the family, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'd probably put like a shit ton of probiotic in the food so he can like have the shits, but that's it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Carrie. Well, there's a link for you, buddy. It's in the chat.
Oh, gee, I just saw that. Oh, good God. Oh, God. I'm going to click on it. I don't fuck care. Yeah, that's very orange. Good God, that thing is fucking expensive.
I thought you were going to say huge.
So he's like, yeah, that's very orange. And then he looks at the price.
The price is right next to it, dude. It says that they slashed the price from $80.99 to $56.99.
Quality.
It's 7.5 inches long.
Oh, that's not that expensive for a dildo.
I don't know. I've never bought one, Samuel.
My sister sells them.
Okay.
I forgot.
I've still never bought one, Samuel. I don't know the price.
I was like, trust me, it gets a lot more expensive
I'm
than that, depending on quality and materials.
I wasn't a shot at you. I'm just saying I've never priced them.
Did you guys see Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, everybody raved about it, but I just didn't really have the really care.
I don't want to spoil anything. There is a scene that involves kung fu with like dual wielding massive dildos. Anyway, the only reason I bring that up is because I recognize the model. So my sister sells them, and they're a hot ticket item. It's called the Rambone. The thing's like 1.5 feet long.
Oh my God.
Now I don't want to see it.
Yeah, I'm okay now. I'll stick to. I'm gonna go watch Mario again.
You know what? I would say absolutely the movie is worth seeing. It's very good. There is some
what's
some
it
messaging
about
in it. That's kind of hard to quantify. Not that it doesn't come together, but it starts off feeling very random and unfocused, and it comes down to needlepoint focus at the end of it.
All right.
So no plot in the beginning, but it makes sense.
No, there's a plot. It's basically about a woman who's stuck in a humdrum life with her husband, running a laundromat and living in a shitty apartment over that laundromat, and then she gets sucked into a, shall we say, cosmic adventure.
Oh yeah, okay. Now it's coming back to me. Okay, yeah, no, yeah.
So there's your setup right there. You know,
I'll put it on the list. Fucking giant dildo fighter.
I would recommend it. I wasn't sure about it because, you know, sometimes like I like Mueller, but I don't always agree with his takes on what's good and what's not.
I disagree with him quite a bit. I feel like he's too critical and over. You know, so just when I think he's too critical and over the top, then he has a take about that what did he like recently that was kind of Was it The Last of Us that he actually kind of liked? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah,
I think he liked some parts of it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, he had well, like I said, I think he does good work, but I don't agree with his takes a lot. And the same with Az too. I feel like some guys in those sphere are getting a little too jaded for my taste.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that they're wrong. I understand where they're coming from. I got irritated, not this last FNT or the one before, but I think it's the one before that. Where Ryan said that if you're still enjoying The Mandalorian at all, or you like any of the characters, that you're a fucking idiot. And I was like, okay, well, now you just acted like the fucking mainstream media, and you lost credibility in my eyes, dude. Like, I understand if you're like you're tired of it, but you kind of attack the audience, and that goes for people who watch you.
That's
And I was
actually
like,
the second time he's done that on that stream.
yeah, so I'm like, that's not the way to go, dude. Like, I get it. You don't necessarily like it. Trust me, I don't like The Mandalorian either. Season 3 is dog shit. I still like Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan. I still like Grogu. Yes, Grogu is basically this little thing that just that's all he is. He's a little cuteness walking around, and Din Djarin is kind of getting a big old fucking dick up his ass, because Pedro Pascal, I have a feeling, is out.
He's getting Bo-Katan's dick up his ass.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I get it, but I can still like the characters and still say it's a piece of shit, if that makes sense. So I don't like it when they just like shit on everything and say it's just nothing but horrible, and they don't give any context. I'm like, okay, well, what didn't you like about it? Is there something you might have liked, something was okay? I feel like you're doing a disservice when you try to break things down. And I know that he puts out so many videos that maybe that's why he does it so quick. But yeah, that really kind of pissed me off. I was like, dude, that's a shit take. That was a shit take, bottom line. Saying that anybody who still enjoys watching it, that's Jeremy says, look, it's your money. If you like it, you like it. He's like, if you don't, you don't. And he talks about the prequel trilogy all the time. He's like, I like the prequel trilogy. And he's like, a lot of people don't. And I think that's a good take. Like, hey, I liked it. I'm not saying it's phenomenal. If you don't like it, good on you. But yeah, saying that anybody who watches it is a fucking idiot. And that's what he said, a fucking idiot. And I was like, all right, now you just pissed me off, dude. Like, I'm not gonna make a video because I'm not like, it was like, ooh, YouTuber drama, but it's just like that kind of lost credibility when it came to him, because I was like, man, you usually have such good takes.
Yeah, and like, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he just like spouted some shit that came out of his mouth. That happens too.
Oh yeah, we all have shit takes. Hey, I've had shit takes.
Right. So I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that is the second time that he has directly attacked the audience for liking something that he did not. The first time was Doomcock.
Yeah, and look, I don't like Doomcock. I don't.
I don't either, but I can't say if somebody enjoys his content, I'm not going to tell him not to go watch him.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like Doomcock. I don't watch him. I think that his predictions are wrong the majority of the time. But I guess a broken clock is right, twice a day, which is fine. And if people, and I don't agree with Robert Meyer Burnett being like, oh, well, you need to show your face. You're a coward if you don't show your face, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, no, he doesn't have to show his fucking face.
Wait, right. I'm not the only one who doesn't like Doomcock. I'm not even subscribed to him. I got so tired.
No, it's he's fine for what he is,
Yeah.
But let's face it, he's playing a character and it's entertainment, and it's not. I don't believe even that Doomcock would say that it's meant to be taken seriously. I really don't. Everything he says take with a grain of salt.
Yeah, no, and he is honest about that.
Yeah, I don't think that he's a dishonest person. I think he's an entertainer playing a character.
Yeah,
which is fine. I just it's not for me, is all.
Yeah,
I'm not tired of the constant Kathleen Kennedy's going to get fired today.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't. And him and Mike Zero.
Yeah,
Mike Zero's worse. Mike Zero's far worse. His is clickbait.
Well, everybody, nobody takes Mike Zero seriously. the JV, that Cameron Pasha, I haven't enjoyed him for a long time. I think that he comes off very condescendingly.
I haven't watched him in a while, because I haven't watched Midnight Edge in the morning in a while.
Yeah, he's part of the reason I stopped watching Midnight's Edge.
Well, it's not that. It's just as I got further into creating my own stuff myself, I kind of had a limit to what YouTubers I do watch, and so I don't have a problem with Cameron. He works in the industry. I understand that he has a very inside knowledge of all the bullshit. But yeah, when you start getting condescending, whatever content creator, when you start kind of like taking pot shots at people who watch you, and say, hey, if you like this, we all have bad takes, but I just don't agree with saying, you're all fucking idiots. It's like, why? Because they want to have a little bit of hope left. It's like they're gonna get just as fucking black-pilled like you are eventually one day. Like, why make them do it early? And it makes me think of an employee that we got, who I remember when she first got to the post office, and I kind of did it to her too. She's like, yeah, I'm really glad to work, because her last job was like retail or something like that. It was a terrible job. She hated it. And she was super excited to make, all this extra money and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. I'm like, you'll eventually end up like all of us. You'll hate it. And it's like, that wasn't cool. That was not a cool thing to do. Now, no, by the time I quit myself, she was extremely jaded. And and it's like, everybody gets there in their own time. Maybe don't hurry along the process. The misery loves company thing is not cool.
Well, and I think that eventually that's where a lot of the guys on FMT are going to end up being. Not all of them, but I think they're going to get to a point where, like, I'm still watching them now, and I still enjoy their personalities and all that stuff. But there's going to come a point when it's too bitter even for me, and you guys know how bitter I am.
Mm-hmm. No, trust me, I feel you.
And that's part of why I stopped. Like I said, JV Cameron Pasha is part of the reason I stopped watching Midnight's Edge. I stopped watching Midnight's Edge like 2 fucking years ago. I don't watch their stuff anymore at all. The most recent thing that I watched was Toxic Femmes a couple weeks ago, and that's just because Mags is on there.
Yeah,
honestly. I like Mags.
Yeah, I watch it because I like Nina. I like Mags. I think Nina still has some hope for some stuff. Not everything, of course. But also at the same time, if she doesn't like something, she doesn't watch it, and she doesn't like go out of her way to review it, to where some people do. And look, I'm kind of like that too. The Mario movie was fucking incredible. I think that's the best movie I've seen since Top Gun. And that's better, in my opinion, better than Avatar. Is Avatar obviously going to make more money than almost more money than both of those combined at the end of the day? Yeah, because it's Avatar. But
I don't know. You know what? Because I know what I'm hearing. Though
Avatar made like over $2 billion. It usurped Titanic.
Yeah, I'm gonna address this here. Midnight's Edge is a channel on YouTube. There's Midnight's Edge After Dark. They're all under the same umbrella banner. They're run by a guy named Andre out of Norway, which is why it's called Midnight's Edge, because Land of the Midnight Sun. And he runs it with a man named Tom Connors, who is and it's basically kind of what a lot of other channels do with pop culture commentary and upcoming stuff. They do tend to get a little bit more inside information than a lot of other people do, so it's a little bit more news angled than anything, but it's all focused on pop culture kind of thing. And they have a number of guests on there. They actually did this really cool thing with Gary Tunnicliffe a while back that was pretty neat, for those of us who are fans of the Hellraiser franchise like myself.
Well, I really like Tom. Andre is not my cup of tea. I feel like he's a little too analytical.
He's an acquired taste.
He's a little bit like Mahler. He's a little too analytical. He's a little too drawn out for my taste. I don't hate the guy. He's just not my personal taste. I like Tom. I think Tom is very to the point. He doesn't really bash on anybody for liking anything. He makes his predictions based on the facts that we kind of see on the ground. And JV, I saw your comment. I was just about ready to address that. I do like Culture Casino. I've been on streams with him before. Very nice guy. And I like the way he interprets things too. He's very humble. He kind of slings by the facts on the ground, and he doesn't really take pot shots at anybody for possibly liking something. And that's where I draw the line.
Again, like a lot of these guys I'm saying that I don't watch, it isn't anything personal against those guys. For the most part. It's either I grew in a different direction and I'm no longer interested in the type of content they produce, or I just didn't care for something about that, whatever. It's just like you fall off sometimes.
Mhm.
You know,
I just love-
I don't have an issue with Doomcock personally. I don't have an issue with Midnight's
Nope.
Edge personally. I
Nope.
don't have an issue with
Yeah.
you know, a lot of these guys personally. It's not personal. It's just, you know, from an entertainment perspective, I watch a lot of freaking YouTube.
Mhm. That's
You
all
know,
I pretty much watch, unless
yeah,
it's something I'm reviewing.
there are some things coming up with the Friday Night Tights group. A couple of the people on there, I'm starting to pull back from, and it isn't personal. It's just I don't like. I'm not jiving with the direction that they're going. Is all.
So I'll say I love the documentaries that he makes, the short, like 15,
Mhm.
20-minute videos. With I mean, I'm the opposite. I like Tom and I like Andre. I like both of them. I like Andre's analytical approach. I loved how he used to, whenever he would start a review, he would be like, "This is my history with the franchise, so you know where my bias comes from." But I especially love, because it's hard for me to watch Midnight's Edge in the morning because it's while I'm at work.
Mhm.
But I really like when he makes those videos. Like the editor, I think they call them editorials. You know,
Yeah.
where it's not the conversation, where it's like Andre just giving you the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is pretty much straight up that guy, and the majority of them are. They do make predictions, but they don't usually overstep to the point of being almost uh what am I looking for? Almost too much. Like, you know, to where sometimes some people go way too far.
Yeah,
Of like,
they're pretty far from the view.
yeah, no.
You know,
View.
it's almost polar opposites there. I'm just saying they don't come off like the bitches on the View.
Mm.
You know, and I gotta say, I am grateful to Andre and Tom for one thing in particular. I am very grateful to them because they had a at the time lesser known YouTuber on who is now my friend and co-panelist, Kat, the hijabi gamer.
Oh, I was on because
That is why I know who you are, because I saw that episode.
I saw you on Tuesday night's main event.
No, but the Midnight's Edge one was hilarious because I said, the problem is I can't even super chat unless I'm using my cell phone.
Mhm.
Like, I can listen to a live stream, but I can't even super chat. And honestly, my phone's battery has been dying out, so I can't even super chat them anymore. But they were talking about the issue with the PlayStation 3 and how they were saying that something, I can't even remember what it was, but it would make it impossible to access your digital library. And Andre was getting it completely wrong. I'm like, Andre, I got a PS3. Let me I now it's just, you want to come on. I had just come home from work. I was soaking wet because it had been raining. And they're like, you know what? Sure, I'll come on and explain the whole PlayStation situation.
I liked how you fangirled for like 10 solid minutes and they were like, okay, you can just talk to us. We're people.
Like I said, I'm a huge fan of Andre. I love and I mean, come on, I'm a fan of Ben Shapiro.
Mhm.
So that Andre's analytical approach really appeals to me. So to get to speak to him.
It's so easy to, you know, to go on other streams and stuff like that. And I'm not even necessarily like, you know, being like a massive fan of the person. You just, when you go on somebody else's stream, you're always nervous. Then of course if there's somebody on it you actually like, you know, somebody who you kind of look up to because you know, you've been watching their content, you know, they kind of inspired you. I'll admit, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and Jeremy from the Quartering are the reason I started YouTube. And also there was another YouTuber that I watched you know, around the same time, where is the reason I have a fun channel for like gaming and different entertaining stuff, no political pop culture motivation. And then I have the other one because of Geeks and Gamers and Jeremy from the Quartering. So it's yeah, I think it's just it's awesome that you know, we all get inspired somewhere.
Mhm.
And I like everybody on F&T. And like I said,
F&T's the reason I wanted to start doing, one of the reasons I wanted to start doing this.
Well, it's one of the reasons that I wanted to do something a little bit similar with Friday Night's Royal Rumble. No, I don't want to be F&T, but I
Right.
want to be something that's like in the wheelhouse where we have fun, we hang out, but at the same time, that's why I always try to. And I learned this from, you know, R2 and JT and stuff like that, you know, and you know, some of my previous co-hosts and stuff who are doing other stuff, you know, they you know, they're like, okay, let's try to find something that we kind of like about things. And I was like, I'm all for that. Yeah, let's, you know, we don't have to hate everything. I'm like, you know, what's something we might kind of like? And it was due to their direction that's like, okay, I didn't like this. Is there something I did like? Is there something that was okay? And that's why I found a couple things about Velma that I was like, you know what? I chuckled a little bit, or and that's why that one section I had it in the intro for so long, because I was like, that's the only thing I actually liked, and it was because it was just actually kind of like just witty, funny, and kind of stupid, but it just wasn't like super politically motivated in any way, shape, or form. But that was like one of the only things that I liked about Velma. So season 2 incoming.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Not saying anybody needs to watch it. I'll suffer in silence.
Yeah, you can go ahead and jump on that grenade for us.
Yeah, I'll suffer in silence, and that's also another thing too that I kind of learned. It's like, at FNT they kind of make you suffer all together.
Just about everybody, Clue.
Yeah. It's like, a couple of you guys took a stand, like, dude, if we're going to talk about film again, we're not going to be there. And I was like, look, I get it. It's that bad. I don't want to make you guys watch it. I'll watch it. I can kind of tell you why it sucks, and we'll move on with something else.
Right. But like you were saying though about like FNT and that sort of thing being kind of an inspiration for getting started, getting the ball rolling, right? They were for me as well, to a degree. To another degree, my friend Amira, the Lioness Exiled, go watch her channel. It's great if you're into politics. If not, you might not like it. But that is part of the reason that we talk about anything on this show. We talk about pop culture here. We also talk about politics and world events. We talk about random shit happening in space. Because I went on a couple of panels of hers a couple of years ago, and I found that I kind of liked it. And I kind of wanted to do something, and I knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was like, you know what? I just want to talk to people about stuff.
Agreed. It's more fun with people than just making videos by yourself. And took me a long time to reach that, but I see what Primal said. Be one with the grenade. Trust me, I'm always one with the grenade. I jump on more grenades with these when it comes to shit that I watch, and Kat's like, why do you hate yourself? And I'm like, well, somebody's gonna hate me. It might as well be me. I don't know.
That is a terrible reason.
Well, I've said it before. The reason no creator inspired me to do it. The only reason is because I feel I have more, and I need to make more content. I feel like I have a responsibility to make content because given what I am and the fact that they expect me to go along with their narrative, and I'm fed up with the narratives that. I used to watch a whole bunch of people, Gamergate people talking about how these woke SJW and Anita Sarkeesian types were ruining gaming. It's like, yeah, but you can't call me a straight white man. You could call Ryan Cadell that. You could call Jeremy that. But you can't call me a straight white man. What are you going to do about it? Oh, no, you don't understand representation. I don't understand it. I don't understand lack of representation. I grew up in the 90s when not a single Muslim was on television.
What is this representation that you?
I don't give a shit. I mean, I really don't. I'm tired of these babies. Oh, I said follow a voice actor. He's like, we need more trans native people to voice trans native people. It's like, dude, just do your job. You're a good voice actor. No, he made some comment where he's like, I love it when I get a job because I'm a trans person to do a trans native character. And the director gets to know me and hires me for further gigs. I'm like, dude, it's because you merit-wise. It's nothing to do with you being trans. It has everything to do with you actually being a decent voice actor. Take credit for the fact that you're a decent voice actor, not that you happen to be trans.
Look, the whole point of acting, voice or otherwise, is to pretend to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Period.
No, you're not allowed to do that.
But that's what it is. That's what acting is pretending to be somebody else. Period. And a good actor can play anybody.
Hi, Nomi.
Nomi, are you still alive? What are you doing, Nomi?
No, she went to sleep.
I'm actually playing Warframe.
No! Are you serious?
I'm so proud of you.
No, I'm not playing Warframe. I just wanted to stir the pot a little bit.
Just fucking with you.
Why? You got my hopes up.
I was gonna say if she said yes, I was gonna be like, kick her ass now. Just get out.
Why, Nomi?
I kid. But no, good for you. Thanks for not caving.
We have a question from Richard L. For everybody in the panel. I've never seen Terminator movies 5 and 6, T Genesis, T Dark Fate. What are your opinions on them? Worth watching or not? So, are you saying that you haven't seen the last two? If for my opinion, no, they're not.
I haven't seen them either.
Okay, what is okay? So 3 was the one with the really hot female Terminator who was like 16. What was the one after that?
Actually, she wasn't 16, dude. She's like 2 years older than me.
I thought you were 16 at the time when it
No.
came out.
No,
Dude,
because I was an adult when it came out, and the actress is older than I am.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought they said that she was like 16 in that movie, so like her running around with her ass hanging out was weird.
No, that was I don't know what that was about, but no,
Okay,
she's Kristana Loken. Nah, she's like a year or two older than I am.
Okay, what was number 4? That's the one.
4 was the one with Christian Bale and Sam Worthington.
Yes, I liked that one. I didn't like
too.
3. I liked that one. Everything after that, I didn't like. I like 1, 2, and 4. That's it.
I think 3 had a great ending, and I think it's worth watching for that reason. But the rest of the movie's kind of meh.
The
Genesis. Genesis
was
got
that Genesis?
stupid. No, Genesis was the one where they turned John Connor into a Terminator.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's right. Fuck, what?
Shit, sorry guys, spoilers.
I mean, if you haven't seen that movie, like, why would it be spoilers? Like, why? My argument would be like, why haven't you seen it? It's been out for several years now.
No, I was gonna ask him like, have you seen any of the Terminator movies? That's why it's a spoiler. But I guess have you seen 1 and 2?
Yes,
of course. Who hasn't seen 1 and 2?
I don't know because Nomi didn't sound sure.
She's like, I'm so fed up with your shit right now. Right?
I am. I'm actually like to my wits' end.
So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yes,
all right.
yes, absolutely. It ended on a cliffhanger.
It ended on a cliffhanger because it was canceled because no one was watching it. But actually, season 2 is better than season 1 by leaps and bounds. It really picks up in season 2. It's a great show. I think people should watch that. I would not watch. I have not watched Dark Fate, so I can't speak to that. I hear it's not great. Do with that what you will.
That's the one that has Matt Smith in it.
Sure. I don't know. I haven't watched it. I know it's the one that they brought Linda Hamilton back for all old and stuff.
Yeah. And it was like kind of girl bossy type of movie. Like, yeah, Linda Hamilton's back as Sarah Connor, but she's old as heck.
Yeah, and it wasn't that the one where they had the what Angry Joe referred to as the T-1000?
I think so.
Who went on a killing spree in an immigration lockup.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. That.
You know, like, no, that's not subtle at all.
Yeah. Kill all immigrants.
Oh, I think he was killing the immigration officers, like the ICE officers, and like Border Patrol guys. Yeah, it was I don't know. I've heard it's not great. I haven't watched it. Not planning on it. Honestly, that series should never have been a series. If you ask me, the first movie is tight and self-contained and needs no sequel.
Okay.
Just saying.
Well, I'll take your word for it. I mean, I remember seeing that one, but it's been several years since I've seen it where I'm just like, I obviously forgot some scenes and you said some stuff where I'm like, oh, that's right. It did happen. But it wasn't like a number one thing I have to see again so I can talk about it 7 years later on YouTube, on a stream with strangers.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. That's what I've heard. But again, I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you for sure. But yeah, no, you're dead on about that.
Yeah. So I don't like that Ryan's getting on me. Like, have you seen it? It's like, yes. Like, I am cultured.
Yeah. Now I like Terminator 2 as much as the next person. I think it's a fantastic action movie, probably one of the best to come out of that era. I also think it's 100% unnecessary. The Terminator from 1984 does not warrant or need a sequel.
No. It's
a closed loop. It's a time travel story that's a closed loop. Anything outside of that is like fucking with the closed loop.
Yep.
So, and I happen to think it's a better movie, but that I know I'm in the minority on that opinion.
Yeah, I will admit I really like Terminator 2. In fact, I saw Terminator 2 before Terminator 1.
Yes, I said T1000. Not my words. Angry Joe came up with that.
I heard it too.
I
and
got to give him
laughed.
credit for it,
Yeah.
but that's what he called him the whole time. And I don't know. I can't speak to dude's performance as I don't even think they called him a Terminator in that. It was because Skynet was gone, so there was a whole other
Yeah, I don't know
thing
what he was.
and all that. But yeah, like, to give credit where it's due, T1000 comes from Angry Joe.
Yeah, no, I think that's funny, by the way, though, because
Yeah.
well, they also had shots in there about half. Yeah. It was, I didn't even see it because it looked so terrible. And of course, it's like they're talking about how much, they're going through the fucking Customs and Border Patrol detention center and all that crap. And I'm just like, you guys are so gay. God, it's gay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, how do you fuck up a kaiju flick?
Hollywood can do it. Hollywood.
All you need in those movies were giant mechs fighting giant monsters. That's it. You don't really need anything else. I would go to see that. I did go to see that.
But you also have giant retards making giant retarded movies. So
yeah, Samuel, that's sort of like, how the hell do you mess up Halo? How do you mess up Halo?
Oh, they're gonna fuck up Fallout too.
Yep.
Fuck up Fallout. I'm gonna watch that because I'm a massive Fallout fan. They're gonna fuck up Fallout.
No, I'm sure they are. I'm waiting with bated breath for Amazon to gut Stargate.
Wait, what? What do you mean a Stargate?
Yeah,
whoa, back up.
Doing Stargate.
Yeah,
what?
Amazon bought the MGM catalog last year.
Yep.
Are you
the only profitable thing that MGM has is Stargate.
They're doing a Disney. That's all they're doing. They're doing a Disney.
Yeah, and I have heard from Brad Wright, who was one of the showrunners on all of the Stargate television shows, and a couple of other key people. Amanda Tapping, I think, has been brought on board for stuff. They're doing a new series, and it may be a reboot.
Oh no! Stop! No! Don't!
I'm just gonna wait
that.
and let her get all those out of her system.
No!
Oh, I was just about ready to lay into Carrie because he called me a fake out fan.
You guys are gonna have to get past that.
Are you no?
So Carrie doesn't like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, Fallout 76. He thinks that the only Fallouts are 1, 2, and Brotherhood of Steel. Even though
no, I don't think he counts Brotherhood of Steel. He does count Tactics, though.
No, yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Tactics.
I don't think anybody counts Brotherhood of Steel.
No, Brotherhood of Steel was the one that was on the N64, and it was a piece of
shit.
It
was on the PS2, actually. Yes.
What? Well, no, it was also on. Was it?
Okay. Yeah, because I have a copy.
I did not play either one of those. I remember it being on the Nintendo 64. But yeah, no. So but yeah, Tactics. Tactics is all about the Brotherhood of Steel. Is a very good game. Mm-hmm. But just because they can't be top down games all the time, Carrie. Okay. It was like, like, look, StarCraft 2 was great, but it's like they can't be like that fucking forever. They have to adapt a little bit, you old man. Jesus. God, you got fucking you have to have gray fucking hair in your pubes, man. You fucking act so old.
Wow.
The dude sounds older than, I don't know how old he is, but look, I sound like I'm in my fucking 60s. He sounds like he's in his 90s.
He's in his late 40s.
Okay, so he shouldn't. Neither one of us should sound this damn old, but we do. Especially, you damn kids, get off my lawn. You don't know what Fallout is. We're both retarded, by the way. Like, and I think Carrie would agree. We're both retarded. But no, yeah. I get where he's coming from. He loves Fallout too, and I think we're all gonna They're gonna shit the bed. But anyway, Samuel, sorry. Go ahead.
And that's what makes the Mario movie so much better because they actually really made a movie.
That was so good.
Yeah, that was so good.
It was so good.
I mean, I like I said, I live streamed Mario Odyssey. I'm telling you, anyone who went into that theater who didn't own a Nintendo Switch is probably going to come out and buy a Nintendo Switch.
Not just a Nintendo Switch, an
Yeah.
N64.
Well,
And
no, you can play the N64 games on the Switch. So,
well, that too.
I think that's a bit subjective. Like I might go see the movie, and if I'm lucky, I will enjoy the movie, which would be a good thing. But
You got.
I am not what you would call a fan of Mario. Never have. I mean, not since Mario 3.
Oh,
on
even
the
if you're
NES.
Even if you're a fan of Mario 1, 2, and 3, you're still gonna love the movie.
yes.
I don't. You know what? And maybe I will. And that'll be good. That'll be great. I will look forward to that. But it's not going to make me go out and buy like more Nintendo products because I've been off the Nintendo bandwagon for 30 fucking years.
Okay, you're one of
I
the
have
few-
I have a shitload of sorry, Kat, real quick. I have a shitload of Nintendo products. I mean, I have a Switch. I don't know what else I could buy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think I have a
Nintendo.
3DS, and that was only because when my kid was younger, we got these games called Scribblenauts to kind of help with their vocabulary, right? Which, by the way, if you haven't played Scribblenauts, it's pretty cool. They give you a series of problems that your little character has to solve by creating things, and it will create literally anything that you type as long as you have the correct spelling.
What I just showed is that so like when I'm watching a shitty movie like let's say Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I'm still such a nerd that I have my my original Game Boy Advanced SP, and I'll play it when I'm bored.
Mhm.
Well, trying to review a shitty movie.
Right. Richard, I do not have like if you're talking like a cabinet, no. But I do have Galaga for the Atari 2600, which I also
wish.
have an Atari 2600 that works just fine. You just need to go get like this little bitty $10 adapter from fucking Radio Shack to make that shit work on any TV.
I have an Atari game collection for the Nintendo Switch.
I have 60 cartridges and 2 joysticks.
I'm sorry, I'm still laughing at what Carrie's saying in the chat. He's still going off about Fallout.
Yeah.
At this point, he's just an old man screaming into the void. So I'll let him do his thing,
Mhm.
which I guess we're all kind of doing right now, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Like the 2600 that I currently have, Clue, is I've actually only had it for about 5 years. Before he passed away, a friend of mine was looking to downsize some of his belongings, and this was nobody knew he was as sick as he was, but so he sold me a box for $60 that had 60 Atari 2600 cartridges in it, a working Atari 2600, and 2 joysticks, which I still have and still works. I just had to go buy like a $10 adapter to make it work on a flat screen.
You son of a bitch.
Nice.
What did you think I was saying? I wasn't saying like I had one. I said I have one.
No, I was just saying you son of a bitch. I wish I could get one of those for $60, bastard.
You know what?
God rest your friend though. That was
yeah, I was
slightly
gonna say,
inconsiderate. My bad.
dude, no worries about that. He's been gone for a long time, and he's got a great sense of humor anyway. But honestly, I don't use it all that much, and I would consider selling it to someone who would, except that it is kind of the last thing I have to remember and buy.
No, you should probably hold on to that.
Yeah.
Teach your kids to play it, man.
No, you can also get the Atari collection for the Nintendo Switch.
Why do I need that if I have all of the cartridges, original cartridges?
Oh yeah, well
I'd
not
rather have
you.
the original cartridge.
It's like I don't need a Switch for that.
I was also saying, why are you yelling?
Nintendo Switch. I'm playing Nintendo Switch right now.
I'm sure you are. Well, at least she shook it up a little bit. It's not Destiny. It's not Warframe.
Actually, the crazy thing, I was going to play Destiny 2 because I bought Lightfall and haven't played it yet. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling Mario. I just watched the Mario movie. I gotta watch.
Wait, you were feeling on Mario?
No, I was feeling a Mario move. Like, come on!
That doesn't sound any better.
Kat, don't give into this conversation with Larry.
Wow.
I am learning he does that just to goad me, especially after he created the corpus yesterday. Yeah.
Wow.
You can believe that if you want, but we're all laughing at you.
Who grumped in Nomi's Cheerios?
She saw my little tag.
I'm
Oh,
not grumpy at all.
It reminds me of that episode of Bones where the fucking she's like, I am not grumpy, and it's like,
You guys will know if I'm really grumpy, honestly. Like this is nothing.
Well, I'm not worried about it, Nomi. I'm not within arm's reach of you, so.
I mean, I'm not worried about it either
Because what, Ryan? You want to do that again?
I was saying I'm not worried about it because I can do.
That only just makes you a bigger wuss.
I mean, you're kind of hiding from a girl, dude.
See?
Dude, you have an ex-wife? The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
He has experience.
I know, so do I. So you don't.
Yeah, I already faced that dragon, and I
You
fucking
only
lost, and I learned my lesson.
You only fucking poke the bear if you're out of arm's reach. And no, this is not a situation that I have to go home later tonight.
Wait, why did you put super grumpy under my name? I'm
I
not
don't know what you're talking about. That never happened.
I'm not grumpy.
Oh God.
It must have been Cat.
I know. I've been playing. How can I? I'm playing Mario Odyssey. How can I possibly mess with her thingy?
It's a great game, by the way. Mario Odyssey is a great game.
Yeah.
Super grumpy. What about Grumposaurus Rex?
Grumposaurus Rex? You know what? That's a good question. Where is my wife right now? Good thing she didn't hear that.
Oh my God, that's even better.
Actually, she did. Hold on. She was sitting behind me. I'll be. Hold on.
I hear it.
I hear it too.
You're in so much trouble, dude.
Oh my God, that's great. I love it. You best leave me the fuck alone.
Stop.
Oh my God.
I really am not grumpy, guys. Like if I was grumpy, I would not be here. I would not be talking with y'all.
No, I completely believe you. I really do. Because most ladies, when they're not feeling it, they're like, you know what? Leave me alone. I won't talk to nobody. Leave me alone.
No, because I would go for your throat and make sure like you'll never speak again.
No, honestly, I was. You know what? I'll
live
say it.
another
I
day.
Yeah, but you're gonna be moving back to a state that I used to live in.
Yeah, for you.
She's like, I know where you're moving.
I do. And I know what you're going to be doing with your life over there. And I may or may not be going back or moving back to that state. So you best watch what you're about to say.
Well, I'll buy you some I'll buy you some cotton candy and
I don't like cotton candy.
What are they fucking mint pretzels?
They don't have them in the Colorado Costco's.
Really? They don't?
No, they don't. I tried.
That's
I had
wild.
to come all the way down here to El Paso to get them.
They got them on Amazon?
I wouldn't trust that one. I'm pretty sure they do have them on Amazon, but
They probably do.
But
I'm not a huge Amazon fan. I know we kind of like derailed this a little bit, but
yeah, no, the Thin Mint pretzels are not at the Colorado Costco's. I've tried and I've asked, and they say it's a regional thing, so they don't get it delivered there. So when it came back to El Paso, they're like, "Heck yeah, we have them." It's like, of course, Texas has everything.
oh, it says chocolate covered strawberries. We're not talking about your love life, dude.
No.
I don't know. He posted something earlier that I kind of want to address a little bit.
Oh, I see Zillage's question. Speaking of Costco, that if I got the PS5. No. Okay. So I did not, because they sold out of that bundle.
Mm-hmm.
And I emailed them like, hey, like, what's the possibility?
It's a hot ticket item. You got to jump on it.
Yeah. And that is a phenomenal deal.
Yeah.
I saw that too, Nomi. Yeah, they sold out.
Yeah. And I did email them asking if they're going to restock it. And they said, depends on the buyer. It's like, well, who's the fucking buyer? They're like, well, like whoever is like the partners of Costco. I was like, what the heck? So
no, that is a phenomenal. That's why, because that is a 1 in a million deal. You are getting things below cost, like well below cost.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean? Damn you, Ryan! I didn't do anything to Larry. You're the one who
Yes, you did. That was your fault.
It wasn't fucking my.
Yes, it was.
What did I say? That was my fault.
Hey, I
But-
told you guys to
If,
grab
if
it.
none of
immediately.
y'all can answer that, it's not my fault.
I didn't
Hey,
say it was.
I didn't say it was
I
your
did-
fault either. I was just all I did was I told you guys the moment it came up, you should get that immediately.
2 of the 3 ethnicities tried to say it was my fault for something that I don't know what was my fault.
I didn't
You
say
know
it was your
exactly
fault.
what you
Said
said.
Did I
2
say-
of the
You
3
started the whole conversation
Okay.
that got me into a situation.
that
Oh, is
Nomi
that with your?
that Nomi's being grumpy because she needs a nap.
I'm not talking about Nomi.
I didn't say anything about your wife.
You prompted the conversation that caused me to say what I said.
Oh, sir, that is you are
You-
not gonna
I mean,
get away with that one,
let's be
motherfucker.
fair, Larry. You could have also just not said it.
You be quiet.
Gee, see now Larry's grumpy. Gosh.
Larry's trying to blame the white guy. Go figure.
Yeah. While we're talking about relationship stuff here, but I don't know if that's a good thing, honestly.
Maybe he doesn't
unless
consider
you're
them
with the same woman that you've always been with. Like I don't know that like that seems kind of like you're missing out on a vital part of living.
How old is Bo? Young or older?
He's a little older than we are.
Oh well, then maybe
I don't want to say
he
his
might-
exact age, but
yeah,
but
might be married then.
he's but yeah, if for those of you out there who have never risked a relationship, I think you're missing out.
Mhm.
Even when
agree.
they go bad,
Mhm.
you're missing out. Like my marriage went real bad, real bad. But I also blessed me with my children who are probably the best thing that has ever or will ever happen to me. Bar
Yeah,
none.
I completely agree with the statement. It's better to have loved and lost than to have never have loved at all. It really is,
Mhm.
because you know what, you really are missing something. And it really is kind of a magical experience knowing that somebody gives a shit, how you are, and they're excited to see you at the end of the day. Even if you only experience that for a limited time. But yeah, it's so hopefully that's not the case for Boa.
Yeah, and yeah, like sometimes they don't work out, sometimes they do. Like it's always a risk. Everything
Yes.
that we do in life is a risk. Walking outside my front door is a risk. I could get hit in the head with a fucking meteor. It happens.
Dude,
You
I
know?
could have a brain aneurysm, walk into the bathroom in the next 2 hours.
I might, I might be in the bathroom and just like, push a little too hard and pop a
Yeah.
vessel.
Yeah.
That could happen. So, everything that we do is a risk. And yes, there's always the risk that things can go horribly wrong. But you're also, if you avoid all risk, you're also avoiding the risks that go right.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, you got to get out there and you got to live. You got to live life because, I know it sounds funny coming from a bunch of people sitting on a panel bitching about things on the internet, but most of us have lives. We get out there, we do things. This is not the be all and end all of our existence, and it shouldn't be for anybody.
No. And even this is a gamble too, because when you start, you get out of your comfort zone. You're like, you don't know how people are going to react. You don't know if you have anything interesting to say. The fact that I have a channel that's monetized and that many people actually want to listen to me, and I'm like, why? I'm kind of a high functioning retard. Like, I wouldn't want to listen to me. But
Yeah,
then
I think
again,
that's an accurate assessment.
Well, yeah, it really is.
Hey, I second that. I listened to you, and now I'm in trouble. Thank you, Brian.
Motherfucker,
but
about
folks,
time black people take responsibility for themselves.
Folks, you know why Larry's in trouble? Because he took the risk and he is with someone who wants to be with him, who he is now in trouble with.
He's and besides, they got another troublemaker on the way, and that's a fucking blessing in itself right there. So good for Larry and his family.
Yeah.
Even if they're not ready to come out just yet.
Hey, look, with all of the depopulation agenda shit going on, we need to start having babies.
Yes.
We need to start having babies, because even taking out like the malicious intent from the whole, like, birth rates are dropping for a variety of reasons. If we let it continue, eventually we'll stop having babies, and then you're looking at a children of men kind of situation, where we've pretty much only got to the end of our lifetimes before we're extinct.
Didn't I see an article not too long ago on Twitter or something like that, or a post saying that mixed race children are actually racist or some crap like that.
What the fuck?
My
Yes, I
God.
saw that.
I think it was. I
It
think it was like
started with
making
no,
it-
it started with Dungeons and Dragons. So Dungeons
Yes,
and Dragons were
yeah,
not gonna
that's-
do
Oh,
that.
right, that.
Yeah, it started with that, and then there were people talking about the fact that like in real life, like having mixed race children is problematic, and it's like, okay, what?
No, it's,
I
We're
can't
it's
wait to
all
have
mixed
mixed.
race.
I can't wait to have mixed race kids.
problematic for who would be my question.
Idiots.
Because
Society.
it's not problematic for those children. They are who they are. They can't change
Yeah.
that.
And quite frankly, human beings are meant to mix with the with the best genetics. And quite frankly, me mating with another white girl could have great genetics, but it's like doesn't mean that I couldn't have better genetics with say a black girl or something like that. And it's like I it's one of these things that we thought we were over this, but now that all this identity politics crap has come back, it's problematic, in like D&D. And yes, this was a legitimate article like on, well, mixed races are going to be cut from D&D because they're problematic and they're discriminatory. And it's like,
How?
what? That was an
Yeah.
article. That was an article.
It's I don't have that currently up in front of me, so I'm not going to pull it up. But
Yeah,
I
it was-
think I
it was-
remember reading something
So
to that
since we're
effect. as
talking
well.
about procreation, allow me to stick up for Nomi. Anybody out there that is looking to meet Nomi and perhaps progress to the next level, remember she is a lady. All right.
Yeah.
Stick
So
up for her or
if-
like pimp out. What are you doing here?
I don't know where you're coming from on this. Larry.
I'm not coming anywhere. I was being honest.
Oh, whoa.
Phrasing.
I'm being honest. I'm like,
Going to bat.
Nomi is our friend. All right, she's a lady, just like Kat is. They are ladies, but in Nomi's particular case, good beer, good vibes, and a good bar fight will start a
Mhm.
good conversation with her.
It will. Yeah. Honestly.
Just don't be the one to get your butt kicked in the bar.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still talk to wusses, but where I come from in El Paso, there's a little known bar here. You can go country line dancing, which is one of my favorite pastimes is line dancing. And this bar is known for military men to go and hang out, and you see bar fights. So I like to see the military men being who they are in the military, and
You like to
throwing
watch
fists.
dudes beat the shit out of each other for your favor.
Yes.
I mean,
Because I wanna
let's call it what it is.
Yeah, I do. I do enjoy watching that. But yeah, no. I mean, if we're talking about relationships right now on this little segment of this stream, uh,
She doesn't want one.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't want one. I'm actually very content in my singleness right now.
Yeah, sorry.
No, what were you gonna say?
Because I was just gonna say I kind of feel you on that one. Because Larry's is an awesome guy. He's got everything going for him, and
Mhm.
he's kind of like that older brother and stuff like that. I have a
Yeah.
friend like that who has God, they have. I used to call. I swear to God, I was going to be married with kids before he was, and he was going to be the single bachelor friend who was going to live above my garage, who was going to be Uncle Tim.
Mhm.
And he found a woman who somehow, some way settled that man down, and they have 5 kids now. And now I'm Uncle Ryan, and it's like, yeah, it's that brotherly love mentality. And it was so good to see, because I could have swore to God he was never going to get married. He was so against it. He had his parents had a bad marriage. They had a bad divorce. There was more going on there than meets the eye. Let's just say this is before before one individual was comfortable coming out as who they really were, if that makes sense. But yeah, so no, it's sometimes being single, it's especially during a life transition. For me personally, like I'm moving back from Florida to Colorado. I'm not going to be looking for anything. I just want to get settled, and then of course, once I'm settled, I'm in my groove. And then of course it's like, yeah, it's like if you find something cool, but these people who constantly search around online or whatever, or even on Twitter or just even YouTube, they get feelings for YouTubers. It's like, Go out and meet somebody the old-fashioned way. Go to go to the grocery store. You see a cute girl, and she's like, "Hey, can you reach that for me?" And it's like, you're a taller guy, say, "Yeah, hey, I'm Ryan. Would you like to go out sometime? Maybe." It's like,
especially the produce aisle. That's where the cruising happens.
So it's really not hard. You don't have to be, and don't listen to these fucking weirdos who are like going, well, if you approach a girl in a club, half the time she's probably gonna shoot you down. She's gonna have her friends who are gonna be fucking so far up her ass.
Nine out of 10 times you'll get shot down in a club.
That happened to me 3 weeks ago. I went out with some friends. Guy asked for my number, and I was like, "Hey, I don't want to." Like, it's not because like he was a good looking guy. I'll give him that, and he was a good dancer. But I was just like, I'm not interested. And I don't want to leave you on. I don't want you to waste your time with me because I am not in a space to seek that out.
Well, the Zillage. I mean, the thing is also like if I found some, honestly, I don't want to be single, but at the same time, I don't know. Anyway, if I found the right guy, definitely would jump on it. But at the same time, Zillage, like, I know what you mean about the people who are into YouTubers. It's like some guy's is asking me in my live streams to marry me. It's like, bro, you don't know me. I don't know you.
Question, Kat. I have a question for you, hon.
Yeah.
Are you willing to date or marry someone outside of your faith?
Technically, no, I'm not supposed to. Now, beggars can't be choosers, but if I were to marry someone outside of my religion, and technically I really am not supposed to, it would have to be somebody extraordinary. Somebody because one of the advantages about marrying someone in Islam is that I know they know, we each know our responsibilities in front of God. Mm-hmm. The role of the husband, the role of the wife. So I could rely on a Muslim, at least a good practicing Muslim, to adhere to that. So that's one of the reasons why it's like it would have to be an extraordinary gentleman who I know would not start, sleeping around outside of marriage, having an affair, dumping me on the side because, it would have to be a really extraordinary person for me to be to consider someone outside
with
of
a
the
glorious beard.
With a glorious beard.
Yes, they have to have a glorious beard.
Yeah. You have to prove to me that I can rely on you because honestly, let's just say I had an interesting not colored past. And honestly, if you guys knew my past, you would be like, that's it. But at the same time, it's like I've learned the hard way not to trust people. And so it's like
you were taking advantage, basically, was what you're saying.
Yes, I was taking advantage, but not in the way you would really think. But it was still enough that it broke a part of me. I don't talk.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, he wasn't even dating me. Like, it wasn't like a romantic thing, but it was just somebody I relied on. No, it wasn't. I swear it was not. In fact,
I'll still kick him
no,
in the
it
dick.
wasn't. It was someone. It was not a romantic at all. And later I found out this guy got suspended for having a non-sexual relationship with someone else. And like taking advantage.
In the church or like school or what?
I'd rather not go into detail. I'm not one of those people like on Twitter or on YouTube who feel the need to. It fascinates me to see people posting about all their mental health issues and their past and their emotions.
Sitting right here, Kat. Jeez.
And it's like, hey, you're my friend, Ryan. You're one of the few people. Honestly, I know. Ryan, you're one of the few people I would not have a problem flying out to Colorado and trusting you to, adhere to barriers and like.
No, I'd love to hang out with y'all. Like someday, if we could all meet up, that'd be awesome.
Speaking of barriers,
I would trust Ryan. I would trust Samuel. I would trust Lawrence because I've gotten to know you guys. But like,
what's Larry doing?
I don't understand these people who are like, the only thing I've ever mentioned is ADHD because it's pretty obvious at this point. If you haven't figured it out, I've been diagnosed with ADHD. I mean, you'd have to be pretty blind. But
did they take into account all of the freaking like poison speed that you drink?
That was before the Red Bull. Actually, the Red Bull helps with it. That was before the Red Bull.
I haven't seen her drink a Red Bull tonight.
Yeah. I am actually right over here.
Well, of course you are.
Dun dun dun.
I've been fasting all day.
Larry, what are you doing? Beating off?
Yeah, that's a lot of heavy breathing there.
What are you doing, Larry?
Story.
Hey, and you guys make fun of me playing Mario and stuff?
I've been down and at the bottom of every bottle.
Let's.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Are you
Why are you looking at
singing
me like I'm
Nickelback?
stupid?
Yes, he is.
Oh my gosh,
Oh
Larry!
damn! The damn thing's crap. Microphone.
I don't know if that was like
I don't know
intentional or
what
if
has happened.
if he genuinely did not know the microphone was on.
I don't know.
He is on kid duty, I think, too. But yeah, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah. So as far as going back to the relationship thing, Kat, I can relate to you on like being misled and being taken advantage. It does suck. It does hurt. How you said earlier is like compared to like you guys, like I'm nothing. Like I haven't done a lot of dating. I can attest to that as well. Like I've only had one real boyfriend in my life, and that ended completely this past January.
You're still pretty young, though, right?
Let me just put it this way: my college degree ending.
We never ask a lady's age, Samuel.
I didn't ask her specific age. It was just like you still got many years ahead of you.
Let me put it this way. Let me just say this. So it wasn't like it was far more damaging than a romantic relationship with this guy did. Far more damaging. Like my college degree, getting a liberal arts degree instead of biology degree is tied to this person. A whole lot of stuff is tied to this person where it totally led me astray. So whereas with a romantic relationship, you can eventually move on. This is someone whose effects to this day affect me. And but on the other hand, the best part is I found out the guy ended up getting arrested and
dang.
He was into CP. It turns out he was into the kiddies.
Oh my god.
My God.
Yeah, apparently he had a relationship with a 16-year-old.
Oh,
but
crap, you guys
apparently
didn't hear me.
A relationship on Rhode Island, and apparently the age of consent on Rhode Island is 16, and that's how he got away with it. But then they found a whole bunch of stuff on his computer, and he's been in prison for 6 years.
Good.
Well,
Should
you
be under
dodged
the
a
prison.
good bullet on that one. Proud of you.
Larry, how did you not know we can hear you? We were telling you we can hear you.
Yeah.
Because the further I get away, I can't hear as well with my headset because my refrigerator's metal, so it blocks the signal. I thought I was out of range.
Were you digging through the refrigerator? Is that what that noise was?
Yeah, I was going through the refrigerator, and then I look over, and my wife's looking at me like I'm the biggest idiot in the world. I think she knew the microphone was on.
Yeah, and we even asked,
And
like,
she's laughing at me.
Yeah, 'cause you were doing some
He should
heavy
be.
breathing too. Like, man, what are you doing, Larry?
So you didn't hear Ryan
I didn't hear
accuse you of
squat.
the new tubing.
I didn't hear squat.
Wow.
Okay, well, that's probably for the better.
I thought you were touching it, man.
Or you could just say it like I dance around it for a minute, and then Ryan's just like, nah, he had his dick out.
Nope. There's no dancing around. It sounds like you're fucking, you're fucking choking off.
No.
To Nickelback.
To Nickelback.
Yeah.
Lubin Dubin.
Could have at least sang a better Nickelback song.
I wasn't trying to sing. I was just humming it. I
But
couldn't
like that,
remember all the lyrics.
What was that song they did about you look so much better with something in your mouth?
I don't know. I don't think I've heard that one.
Me neither.
I liked Someday. That was a good song.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more of a quarterback kind of guy. Yeah, I know it was bad. It was dumb. I don't have good jokes for Nickelback other than like I don't like Nickelback.
Well, I'm more of a 50 Cent girl.
So you too like to listen to him, man. It sounds like he's gargling balls.
Is that what he sounds like?
He does. He sounds like his mouth is full the whole time.
That's probably because he's been shot like 15 times.
It may
And
be.
survived.
It may be. I don't know. I don't really get mumble rap though. It seems like
I mean, look, I like some 50 Cent.
Let me ask you this: isn't the whole point of rap to be able to cleverly and lyrically construct, sentences that paint a picture, right? Something that you can follow, something that flows, and it's all about play on words, right?
Yeah.
What is the fucking point of mumble rap where you can't make out the words?
According to
You don't
the
need
last,
a point
probably,
when you're high.
yeah, according to the last decade, nothing.
I can rap.
Oh, God.
Can you?
Yeah.
I doubt it.
No, you know what, Ryan?
What? No, me?
I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Okay.
Yo, go and sit back as I bust a rhyme. I got the freshest beats and I'm always on time. I'm the baddest of the best. Yes, I'm the queen. I'm the master of beats and the crossfader. I'll cut off your hand just like Darth Vader. You step up to me and you're gonna get dissed, homeboy.
All right.
Step up.
Yeah,
I don't
got
rap.
one too,
I never
Ryan.
said I was
I got
fucking
one too,
rap.
I don't
Ryan.
have either.
I got one too, Ryan. Yo, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Yo, tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna.
Jesus.
I, on the other hand, do not
you
sing
okay?
or rap, and I'm happy to not have to prove anything. So thank you very much.
I'm all right.
You
I
sure?
should have finished chewing before I did that.
Get some water, dude.
Larry, you're not as young as you used to be, buddy. Come on.
Well, yeah. Suka, I think it would have been a standoff, but
But
Ryan's got
Ryan
nothing.
can't. Ryan has no game. That's why.
I've never said I could rap ever, so I don't know where you're proving me wrong here.
Well, I just said if you're gonna step up to me, you're gonna get dissed, homeboy, and that's what I said.
All I said is I didn't think you could rap, and then all of a sudden you did that, and I was like, all right, that was pretty good. That's all I said.
Yeah. So never doubt me again, asshole.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, in Ryan's defense, he can rap though. He's got saran wrap in his drawer. Saran wrap, aluminum foil. He's got the whole nine.
It's actually above in the counter. That was not that rate. I can't. There you
And
go.
it's
in the
discount
kitchen.
bulk dental dam.
What?
No.
No. What the fuck is wrong with you?
All kinds of things. Where do you want me to start?
Dental dam. God, you look, Suka says you got owned, Ryan. I didn't say I didn't.
No, this just goes to prove, like, never question what I do. Don't ever doubt me again.
Yeah, Ryan.
One of
Don't
the many
talk
reasons
about
why
it.
I'm single, because I need someone to believe in me. And
First
that's
rule
why,
of Fight Club, Ryan.
yeah.
Well, the first
Oh
and
my
most
God.
important person who needs to believe in anyone is themselves. Period.
I do believe in myself, Sam.
Wait.
so-
You can morph into turtles in this.
What?
What?
In Mario Odyssey, you can become a turtle.
Oh, I was like, what in the hell
You
are
can
you
become a
talking about?
Koopa.
I
You
was
can
gonna
become
say,
a Koopa. That is so awesome.
This took a turn.
Somebody needs to tell the girl to turn the fucking video game off during live streams.
You know, I don't have a lot of rules on here. Just, you know, generally try not.
You're
to
here to engage, woman.
I am engaging. It allows me to actually not interrupt everybody else as much.
You're
Yeah,
engaging
she
in a
uses
game.
video games like most kids with what she's got use Adderall.
No,
Focus.
I know that's actually the irony of it. That's why I'm kind of poking fun at her. She still manages to be like severely coherent and kind of angry.
I'm always angry.
You know, I had somebody. I think actually it was in the FNR chat last night. Michelle came in saying talking about anger and having issues with anger and having to, you know, she was having trouble reining it in yesterday over the Riley Gaines thing. Not to bring it back to that, but that's what she was on about. And I was just like, look, I'm always angry. I've always been angry ever since I can remember. I am angry all the time. And sometimes there's no good reason for it. It's just always present. What I do is I master it so that it does not master me.
Well, I thought you were going to say something else.
Yeah, that too. That helps.
So I'll just say this. I was in a good mood. I was so excited. I just saw the Mario movie. I was playing Mario Odyssey. And then you reminded me of Riley Gaines and all the trans things. And I'm like,
I told you yesterday we were going to have heavy topics today.
Yeah, but I've forgotten.
Yeah, woman. It's your
You're
fucking
right.
fault.
Yeah, it's my fault. All right, I'll take the blame. Totally will take the blame. I don't mind.
I'm not blaming anybody for anything. I'm just saying that, like, look, guys, if you've got, you know, problems with emotional issues, like your emotions well up and you feel like you can't control them or they're choking you out or whatever, you can master them. You don't have to rely on all the namby-pamby bullshit that they tell you these days. There's a reason that for thousands of fucking years, we managed to get along as a species just fine without spiraling into fucking uncontrollable depression by the thousands and offing ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's Carrie asking me? Does doing
I don't know.
refresh my memory? Is that 180s in a car damage the brakes?
Oh, like flipping a Yui.
You mean like literally
like an illegal U-turn? Yeah.
You're not talking like a J turn or anything like that?
No, like a 180. Like,
No.
Your front end then becomes your back end. I suppose that depends, Carrie, on like what kind of car you're driving. Is it automatic or is it a manual?
Well, yeah, like what? Hold on, like I don't understand the context of it. Drifting. If you're drifting, then you mostly you mostly use the the e-brake and stuff like that to kind of you kind of pump it. If you're I have no idea. I don't know what so like if you're doing a J turn, most of the time you're going to actually spin the wheel and you're going to pull the e-brake to kind of like pump it around.
Right, but the e-brake is on a separate mechanism from your standard brakes.
Yeah, I know, because they're usually actually kind of like disc brakes. Right, slam on the brakes, twist the wheel about 45 degrees to the left, and it's an intentional spin out. Yes, it will. It's not going to damage your brakes, but it's going to heat your brakes up really fast because you're slamming on the brakes almost, and it has the potential to warp your rotors.
Yeah, I suppose that also depends on how long and sustained it is.
True, it's a good point. But your car brakes most of the time. The standard is 60-40. Some cars have actually upped it to almost 70-30 because your front brakes will actually keep your tail end from coming out from under you in certain circumstances. But also at the same time, if you have anti-lock brakes, they don't anti-lock brakes literally they go because when you slam on the brakes on, let's say, an older 1990s car that doesn't have anti-lock brakes, they just lock up and you just go and you just keep sliding. To where anti-lock brakes and stuff like that, and even newer brakes, they're computer generated to where they'll actually pump the brakes like this, like it's so fast that you can't even actually comprehend it almost as a human being because the computer controls it, and it keeps you from so in a new car, no, it's not going to happen. You'd have to do it in an older car. Older cars are going to be a little more rugged. So no, it's not going to be, you're not going to damage the rotors as much, especially if you have slotted rotors, because they self-cool. So if you have a standard rotor and it's just like it's flat, there's nothing on it. But if you have slotted, they have little indents and stuff like that. So the brake pad stays cool because it still gets air to it while maximum surface. So the long or the short, I mean, I could probably go further into it, but I don't think anybody really cares other than Carrie. I don't know who loves cars. I love me some cars, but that's me. But
I drive them, man. I don't know that much about them beyond the driving aspect of it.
I love wrenching on cars, not fixing them because they're broken, but wrenching on them to maybe, if you have to fix your car because it's broken and you're like it's costing you money that you don't want to spend, that sucks. But it's like if you're wrenching on something like, hey, my grandfather gave me this old 1967 Mustang, I want to soup it up, I want to restore it. That's fun. That's cathartic. That's a great time.
Well, maybe you and Chow should do a stream at some point about something like that. He's a mechanic.
Is he? Oh no, well, shit.
Lifelong.
Fuck. Next time he's fucking has an opportunity, dude. Like, that'd be awesome. You talk about fucking classic cars, man. I love the fuck out of BBC's Top Gear. That is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah. I never watched it. I heard a lot of stuff about it, but I never watched it.
Fucking incredible.
I put it under the same umbrella that I put a lot of television that came from that era. Reality TV is not entertainment for me.
No,
Period.
see, this is it's not it is a little reality TV-ish, but the thing is though is that they legitimately review cars. They put they put like the Ford Fiesta ST, which is like a 1.6 liter turbo to the max, or they drive the McLaren F1, and they literally like rate these cars, and some cars they put through such ridiculous challenges to see how long they can last in the most extreme environments. It's fucking incredible.
Oh, I did see that clip where they drove that 3-wheeled car down a hill and tried to do a fucking left turn at the bottom of it.
Didn't I play on? Was it on this stream? Did I play?
Yeah, it was this one.
The fucking one where also was the rocket. Yeah. Well, no, I didn't show you the space shuttle one they did with the same car. They made the largest civilian rocket to date, and they used that 3-wheel car to be like the space shuttle-ish, and they fucking launched it in the air, and the thing just went. It was fucking nuts. Yeah, the Robin Reliant. Yeah, maybe next time I'll share that. Yeah, the Robin Reliant. Love that fucking show. Mm-hmm. Yes, I am a fan of the Grand Tour. That was after Jeremy Clarkson got unceremoniously removed because he had bad opinions, and he was unkind to somebody on at the BBC. Of course, the BBC is woke as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, it's state owned.
Yes. Yeah. You know what's funny is that was probably one of their highest rated shows ever, mm-hmm. other than like fucking like classic Doctor Who.
Sure, but they don't show shit that the state doesn't approve, because
no
television produced in the UK is subject to the whims of the state. That's why you got to buy a fucking license just to have a TV in your house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to.
Which is, by the way, UK people, that's fucking retarded.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a real thing.
Fascism.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Az on Heel versus Babyface talks about how he doesn't have a TV for that reason. Like everything he does is online on his computer because he's not paying for a fucking license.
Yes, and he will still get people from the BBC who say you need to pay your dues for the British broadcasting. Like because it is literally state sponsored TV. Mm-hmm. They are manually forced to pay for it.
State-sponsored propaganda.
Yes. That's called fascism.
You gotta have licenses in Canada too.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was part of the.
Well, yeah, because
C11, but
because CTV, it's like Canadian. What is it? CTV is Canadian television. CTV News. Sorry, I'm looking it up.
Speaking of which, did you see that shit where Twitter labeled NPR state-sponsored broadcasting?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was beautiful.
That made my pee-pee hard a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I had half chub. I'm not joking.
I don't know where to go with that comment, but that'll do.
I mean, I'm not. Larry, this is why you get in trouble.
Where's your wife?
She went to sleep. I'm safe.
Mm-hmm. Until tomorrow.
Unless she decides to listen to this back tomorrow.
She might. Who knows?
So there was yeah, go ahead, dude.
I was saying we are probably going to wrap up today's show. It's a little sooner than we usually do, but only by about 15 minutes or so. Because I got to go get something to eat. I know we're going to be streaming on Linus Exiled here in a few hours. At least that's the idea. I know Ryan, you've probably got a stream coming up here soon too, right?
Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah. And I need to drop my Mario review.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I need to go pick up my dinner.
And put out your video.
We gotta put out a goddamn video, woman.
Oh,
I swear to God, I'm gonna DM you every fucking day and be like, "Where's your
Make it-
video?
Hey,
Where's your
Monday.
video?"
Make a
Monday.
video about your experiences getting to. I mean, seriously, I cannot believe you got to see Matt Walsh live. I am so jealous.
Yeah, do that. Do a Matt Walsh video and then do a Mario review video. Drop the one on Monday and then drop the Mario review on Tuesday and then everybody will have a chance to see it over the weekend. It'll make a shitload of money, and you're gonna get fucking massive traction.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
me.
not a bad idea. And
mean,
also,
yeah.
don't feel bad that I give you shit about it because I'm still giving Ryan shit about the T-Rex video he fucking promised me weeks ago.
So yeah, I forgot about that one. So instead, I'm gonna be putting out the T-Rex video right after this. That's right. It's still in my favorites.
I as much as I liked to talk about Matt Walsh, I don't want to make my channel as a political thing because I know people will come at me for that. So I just want to be less obviously from the discussion that we have today. I have transgender friends and non-binary friends that I deeply love, but they're logical thinking, and I know if I do that, like I will get a lot of heat. So I never want to drop names of those who I love to defend me and anything like that. So I just want to keep it as neutral as possible. But the Mario thing is such a good idea.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it is.
yeah.
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Well, I do have a video idea. Well, I have two. One that's going to come on Monday for my video.
Just gonna cuss me out later.
Shut up, Brian. You're lucky enough that I haven't cussed you out right now.
We'll see. It's still early.
Monday you'll see a video, and then I already have something else in the works for another video that will happen the same week.
Nice. So why don't we continue down this trend? Nomi, plug where you're going to be coming up.
Sorry, I'm eating chocolate covered pretzels.
Instead of plugging your
Oh,
pie hole.
so you're digging that in, aren't you, Cat? Yeah. I got chocolate covered pretzels, and you don't.
Yeah. I'm hungry.
So am I.
Ryan.
And I'm thirsty, and today's Friday, so let's go out Saturday and have a
It's
Sunday.
Saturday.
I'm not hungry or thirsty because
okay, I am waiting for my green chili chicken Alfredo to be made. So that's what I'm getting for dinner. What I'm going to plug, Monday I'll be with the asshole that's next to me talking about Game of Thrones. And I'll be dropping my video on Monday.
Yay!
And Thursday I'll be on the Rogue Attraction talking about growing up in the 90s. It's nostalgia, y'all, talking about the drinks that we had as kids. Friday Royal Night Rumble. Friday Night Royal Rumble. Saturday again here with Samuel the Infamous.
Yay!
A lot of that includes me.
Yep.
I know. I need to make other friends.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. There you go. Where's my T-Rex video? Okay, I got it loaded up. It'll be, trust me, you'll have it tomorrow morning.
Sweet. And while you're at it, go ahead and plug.
Okay, so I'm the asshole to know these. Right. Yes. So I will actually be on Inside the Booth tomorrow night with Dan Arena. We're going to be talking about the Passion of the Christ, talking about the fact, movies about Jesus and stuff like that, and about the resurrection, the meaning of obviously this weekend. So I'll be there. He asked me to be on. Monday night I will be obviously with Nomi, and I'll be with Shadow, JV, hopefully Mr. Grant Gregory, and Tyler the Redbeard. We'll be talking about season 3, episode 2 of Game of Thrones. We have a lot of fun there too. It's kind of a nothing but a clown show, because we tell Shadow to shut up a lot. And of course I will be on Vets Talking. Sorry, I missed that part, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. And then of course Friday night's Royal Rumble, and then obviously Saturday again we're going to do this all over again because we're all crazy fuckers.
Yeah, I feel crazy.
Come crazy.
Larry, you're up.
And I will tentatively be on Abyssal Musings, which, as you guys know, I co-host with Samuel. So my little girl is past due, so we'll see what happens. So now everything is pretty much by ear. But if she is still in the womb dancing around, you can catch me with Samuel the Infamous next Thursday on Abyssal Musings. And possibly Saturday, next Saturday, right here on Screaming into the Void.
Awesome. And actually, if something does happen and he's got to go greet that new life entering the world, Ryan, I may need to call on you for some backup for Thursday.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Just
Or
let me know.
Cat.
I mean,
Cat should be asleep at that hour.
yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah,
got to
yeah.
get up early because that's 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
So, I'll admit my sleep hours are being thrown off because of Ramadan. So like I come home from work and I take a nap. So then I stay up later after the fact.
yeah, no, just I mean, shit, we can make it a party. Fuck it, I'll be there.
Sweet, why not?
Sure.
Party.
Naomi, you're welcome. I'm sure. Oh, of course, you're welcome.
I
Yeah, but
wasn't paying attention. What kind of party?
It's a a no pants party is the best kind of party, but not the point.
Ew.
No, it's just it's the Thursday night show. We're looking at maybe making a little bit wider of a panel upcoming, depending on how things go with Larry's new child and that kind of thing. And you are always welcome. Although I do know that you stream with Tom on Thursdays, correct?
Yeah, but you start at 9 in the evening, and I'm already done by then with Tom.
Okay.
Oh, but keep me posted because I don't. No, I'll go ahead and say this. I'm gonna be working with Fear the Beardo on some of his gameplay.
Nice.
Yay.
So keep me posted. Like, let me know if we don't have anything planned that night. I will see if I can come and join.
Is it is it a no pants party?
No,
I mean, it's the internet. It's always a no pants party.
Yeah.
I might not be wearing pants. You don't know that. Maybe I am. Maybe I'm not.
Please, you never take off of your work pants.
I'm not wearing pants.
That's possible too, but we don't know for sure.
I would not be surprised if Kat showers in her work clothes.
I was just about to say that.
I was wondering if she showers in that hat.
Truthfully, if you
I
guys
love
see
the
me
tag.
if you guys see me in real life, 90% of the time I am always in like my jogger sweatpants type of pants because
Prove it.
Wow.
I just like
wow, Carrie.
Just no. All right.
Oh wait. What did Carrie say?
Everybody, shut up. Cat. Go ahead, plug your stuff. I just like this was gonna go so far down.
Kat, what do you got plugging in, girl?
All right. Tomorrow I'll be playing Warframe with Muggsykins if she's available because she's moving. So she's usually on Sunday. She says she's always looking forward to playing Warframe with me, and I always look forward to playing Warframe with her. Anyone else who wants to join us, we can have up to 4 people in the party. Contact me on Twitter for a link to the Discord. Just be aware that Shadow's the bodyguard, the bouncer. He will question you if you sign up for the Discord. So that's one thing he does well. He's a good bouncer. So I'll be playing Warframe tomorrow. I will definitely be playing more Mario, though not tomorrow. Thursday, it's me and Shadow on Merry Madness, though. Yeah, it does get mad. So warning. Apparently, if Larry's daughter comes into the world, I guess I'll be on Abyssal Musings on Thursday. Friday Royal Rumble, Saturday back again. I will definitely, I hate to say this, but I will definitely be late on Saturday because I'm definitely watching the Mario movie again on Saturday.
Nice. All
No
right.
need to apologize.
Yeah, no, not at all. As you all know, I am Sammy the Infamous. You can find me right here every Saturday 4-ish p.m. Mountain Time. Also with Abyssal Musings with Larry on Thursdays, 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Although this upcoming one might be a bunch of random dudes gathered together to wish the new young Miss Knight into a happy thanks for joining the world, because it is always a cause for celebration, in my opinion. In absentia,
Yeah,
that sort of thing. You can also occasionally find me when I have the time slipping into the back of Ryan's Friday night Royal Rumble show. He doesn't like it when I put it like that.
No, not with the new fucking thing. I don't.
Which, by the way, I was kind of hoping I sent that to you for a reason, but I think you're loath to use it.
I don't know how to use it. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
It's same way.
How do
you know what?
How do you
I'll
use
make
it
it
on
easier for you.
yourself?
I will make it easier on you. I got to do, like, you treat it like you treat the I touched the tree thing.
but
No, but that one is funny. That one doesn't leave you creeped out. The other one leaves me creeped out. The tree touched me one is cute. It's funny. I like the tree touched me. I don't have nightmares.
I'm not
of the
saying
tree
it.
touched.
Cat's the one saying it. I mean,
The tree touched me does not leave me with nightmares.
I mean, I guess.
Fair enough. So that, and then later tonight you can find Lawrence and I both hopefully on the Lioness Exile channel doing stuff over there for her kind of thing. I don't know where to go from here. It's just gonna get worse if we keep going down this road. So
say your thing, man. You gotta say your thing. I won't interrupt you, I swear to God.
Remember, everybody, remember YouTube. It could always be worse. It could be raining flaming cobras. Night, everybody.